Welcome back to another edition of Building the Future podcast, where we are connecting young people with real careers, real stories, and real life lessons from leaders in our community. This is episode 2, or part 2, I should say, of Is the American Dream Still Achievable? Is it attainable? We're focusing, because we are in the Midwest, we're in Iowa, what that looks like here. And we're just going to kind of go around. Everybody had a little homework while we've been gone on creating a budget on what that looks like. So we had decided last time on this segment that American Dream is essentially, can a one income family make it on a budget and own their own house, own car, and
provide for the 2 children, right?
Well, yeah. we were going to do a single income, just let's say a single mom or not mom or dad necessarily, just one person, and then what an actual nuclear family looks like. Mom, dad, and a pair of kids.
Yep, that's right.
So I think we just kind of need to go around and determine just a couple of baselines. Did you guys come up with some what are we spending on a house to start with?
I guess so. I'll start. So I didn't come up with my own budget. I used there's a MIT living wage calculator. They've obviously got data for Iowa, right? A statewide estimate. And I'm not going to say this is like survival level budget, right? It's not like almost poverty, starvation stuff, but it's closer to that nuclear or that American dream, almost still. And so that's basically what I based mine on. And so just to start off, like housing, I've got here is...
What kind of house has Ben buying?
Well, it's a $1,100 a month. Either they're renting or they're buying. Okay. Right. So
I want to go with a buying a house. So $1,100 a month. Is that just mortgage or is that escrow?
It looks like it's just mortgage.
Okay,
yep.
So those listening at home, it's a general rule of thumb. Now, interest rates vary, so things are going to change a little bit. But a monthly housing cost is generally going to be around 1% of the purchase price. So I based mine on a $150,000 house, which means that in between your mortgage payment, your housing insurance, and your taxes is going to be about $1,500 a month.
Sure.
Yep. So your $1,100 is probably just your mortgage.
Yes,
and
correct.
Depending on what level, I mean, obviously you could spend more on insurance, and depending on what town you're in, taxes could be a little bit more. As a general rule, it's around 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So I based mine on a $150,000 house. Sounds like you're probably right in there, $150,000,
right.
$165,000 somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Blake. What do you got?
around $1,300. So.
Okay, so Blake likes a little bit better house, or do you think that's with your everything?
Just kind of know what my parents pay.
Okay.
Okay, so yours is based off like a real life.
I was going to say, yeah, mine is $1,200, and that is actually our mortgage. Well, it's a little less than a little more than our mortgage is, and I have a wife and 2 kids, so.
Now, do you know? Does that $1,200 does that include?
Well, but I had money down, so my PMI is. I circumvented PMI, so that there is a piece of that maybe wouldn't be there.
Some of the insurance is probably paid by the business because you've got some of your places.
Well, that's all rolled into my mortgage. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
I know that because we just had to switch homeowners insurance, so that's rolled into my mortgage. And then we pay more to our mortgage, but I know that that's what the payment is.
Mm-hmm.
And so our house was about $200,000 when we bought it.
But you were able to put quite a bit down against that. Okay, so if we were to start, can we agree somewhere between that $150,000 to $165,000 house, and our monthly payment is going to be roughly
sure.
$1,500 to $1,600?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we like that. We got our house bought. Now in the Des Moines area. On last episode, I talked about I was able to find 400 houses in that price range. That was within 20-minute drive of Des Moines. So, again, for those of you listening at home, they're out there. There's also some that are quite a bit cheaper that
I was going to say, we were looking at property
Yeah.
in Fairfield, Iowa.
There's some
today.
condemned ones.
There's some cheap houses in Fairfield, Iowa. If you're looking for a place to move,
Little fixer upper.
Well, and we'll get to stuff like that too. Like where, because you talked about this last time, Ben. Where is Fairfield in?
oh, Southern Iowa.
And what's the job market like?
Basically, you probably are just going to work for our customer. I think that's about the only that or McDonald's.
Yeah, there's like an iron foundry there, but yeah, otherwise it's probably
Otherwise,
retail.
how far to get to a
Uh,
I mean
yeah, maybe 40. Yeah.
I don't know. Not
To your
very-
point, yeah,
I
it's basically unattainable unless you've got reliable transportation.
sure. Okay, so
You're not biking to the next town.
right. Okay, so you're I mean, if you can nail it and work from home in a town like
Yeah,
that,
I mean, but it's like $80,000 I see in houses, 90,000. They weren't horrible houses.
Mm-hmm.
If you can imagine, like Cambridge, except for there's a massive industrial park attached to it. So our customer's not the only one there. There's several other different businesses there, but it's a manufacturing town. I mean, that's what they do.
That's what they were built on. Yeah.
I mean, and coal mining at one time, I believe, was pretty big down there. So
Well,
Gotcha.
you're gonna see that all across Iowa, where old factories shut down, and that's pretty much the end of the town. It's just declining. I mean, all over Iowa, we see that.
yeah,
everywhere.
river towns, railroad towns, absolutely.
You start seeing schools A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they're just all these towns all combined. And
well, yeah, we almost saw it in Perry when the meatpacking plant shut down. And
Oh, yeah.
What was it, like 2,600 people from that town lived there, and
I believe
like that.
Perry was actually paying people to come in. So they had lots for sale, and they would give you money to come and build a house there.
Wow.
Just because there was nobody, everybody was leaving. I mean, as fast as they could go. All right, so let's move on from there. So if we've got $150,000 to $165,000 house, what's everybody making per year to start our journey? So I've got to get it done. Now this is with little to nothing down. We do recommend that you do put something down if you're buying a house. Try to get that 20% would be great to get out of the PMI. 20%'s pretty tough to
but
come by.
I mean, realistically, you can get a first-time home buyer's loan depending on your credit and what your availability of co-signers, whatever. Your first-time home buyer loan can be anywhere from 1-2% to 4-5%. So it depends. I think a lot of people my age think you have to have that 20% down,
And you don't.
and you
No.
absolutely don't. And so just take that with a grain of salt. You're gonna pay for it, I promise. Don't worry, they'll get your money, but you can get into a house a lot cheaper than people think.
Okay. So my budget's set around somebody making $28 an hour. Now at $28 an hour, I've got them in that 20% tax bracket.
Is that single person too?
This is
Okay.
I ran mine off of a single person, and
Yep.
yeah, we can kind of crank some of this up on a
Yep.
four person household. But at $28 an hour, then what's everybody else? What's their sim?
I guess what age range? Because we're
Blake's sim
we're
is
thinking-
trapped in the swimming pool, and he took out all the water, and he's just
So we're thinking married couple, 2 kids. So what age range, I guess, or are you looking at in these?
I was going to start off with just a single person.
Just single.
Just single person making it on. I see that more, and maybe that's just in the circle that I know, but it seems that there's a lot of people that try to find the house before they get married, right or wrong. The age of people getting married seems to be going up. I'm not sure what it is right now, but it's I think I've heard upper 20s, lower 30s before people are getting married, and most young people are trying to get in a house before their 30s.
Yep.
So, I'm imagining in my scenario somebody that's 25 to 30 is looking to get into that house. They've been renting for 8 or 10 years and they're ready to get into a house. Yeah. That's kind of the scenario that I've built in my mind. And then yeah, from there I want to work into, now we're a little bit older and we're getting married. I mean, yes, obviously there are plenty of people out there that are in their early 20s and are getting married and in their early 20s and already have a couple kids. Absolutely. And
Right, but the
Yeah,
numbers,
your
the
results
numbers
may
per
vary.
hour don't really change that drastically much.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that. If you got a spouse and two children, there's quite a significant difference between just
No, I'm
mouths
saying,
to feed.
I'm
And
saying wage for the people, like a 5-year gap between me and the next guy. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna
Oh
swing
no,
some.
absolutely, absolutely. When your earning potential,
Right,
I
but
guess
you take-
you'd call it
Right.
from an 18-year-old to a 30-year-old is a
Oh yeah, but
huge
I guess I was thinking more that because I kind of base mine off like a 25-something-year-old person.
Say,
For
same
my
thing.
single person.
somebody coming right out of high school and getting into a career, if that's what we're talking about, and that's what we want to focus on, is somebody potentially getting into the trades, right? So they come right out of high school, they start their career, whatever that looks like, and 7 years later, you better be real.
You better be making good money.
Close, right up
but
in
that's
there,
what I'm
right?
saying. But there's
If
diminishing
you've
returns.
plateaued, well, yeah,
25 to 30. If you were in it
Yes.
since 18, your raises went from, instead of getting $1 a year or whatever you ended up with in the first 5, you're not going to get that in
Yeah,
second.
your knowledge
Well-
has doubled every year, right?
Right,
From
and
18, and all of a sudden you should be making way more.
so your number was like 28-ish. Could you restate that? Like it was how much?
So yeah, I'm figuring on $28 an hour,
Okay.
just based on people that I know, people that I've seen
Mm-hmm.
in that age range that have the start of a career. They're somewhere in there. Generally, you're going to start somewhere, 18 to 20, depending on what industry.
Yeah.
With I would call it $40 to $50 an hour at your max. That's like right now. These kids that are 20 years old, the max when they're up there is probably going to be $80 an hour. Could be $100 an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Sky's the limit.
Well,
Right
and,
now.
I mean, just as a base level for trades, that's kind of where you're thinking. And
So
Don't even
most
count-
of the
don't
people in my building, and we've got, what do we got? 65 of us in there now. I can tell you firsthand that we've got all trades in my building.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing for kids that are in this age group.
Right.
Average,
Right.
Well, and then
and
that's
some kids, they might be running where they might be actually foreman already, or I mean,
Oh yeah.
So there's highs, there's lows, but yeah, the average.
So that's where I've got mine. Ben, where's
Yeah, mine's like 28, 29, I think, is where, again, I use the same source, the MIT wage calculator.
Gotcha.
For Iowa, and it was 28, 29.
Yeah, I guessed right.
Yeah.
Take that, MIT.
Just to put a date on that, it is
Well,
February 2026. So
I guess I don't really know the too much about the average trades wage around then, but like coming out of college, the average is about 56 to 68. I just quick Google search, and then what
for your profession,
Yeah, and that's
Just the average. The average.
just
for
the
you.
average. Yeah, just
Okay.
I mean, there's high like for me
Yeah.
coming out making 75, 80 is a lot higher than
Mm-hmm.
kids.
yeah,
some
that
kids
$28
coming
an
out
hour.
40,
Let's see
30.
here. That'd be about right because I've got take homes.
56,000. Yeah,
I've got take home at 46, so your gross would be
Sitting around
56 to
56, yeah.
60. Elisha, where are you sitting at for
I came in at that 40 to 45,000 for a single person. So
take
that's-
home or gross? That's probably going to be take home because that falls right. in
Right,
line.
but that's going to be right in close to where you
Yep,
guys are
that's
at. I mean,
almost
you-
exactly where I'm at.
And again, this is one thing I kind of figured out for most people out there. You can roughly take your whatever you make an hour, double it, and add a couple zeros. And if you make $20 an hour, you should be making about 40,000 a year, roughly. And it kind of works all the way up. So,
Yeah.
just it's obviously not going to be exact, but that's a rough number.
Yeah.
So,
Nice
you know,
hearing.
if you're
And
sitting there
this is
thinking-
working that 40 hours a week, and we
Right,
can
right.
talk about extra and stuff like
No,
that.
I figured everything on the bare minimum of 40, and that gives you 120 hours of free time a week.
Right.
If
Well, yeah, again, going back, like that's sort of the model that we're working with is that American dream
Right,
type
right.
of thing.
That's
So.
even you got 2 weeks off for the year.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on down. Now I've got mine broken into. I started with housing, and then I went all the stuff that is involved in housing. So you've got your utilities, your gas, your electric, your internet, water, trash can. Even I've got phone in that general housing. Because I'm old and we used to have a landline, so it was in the house. And now that a cell phone, it just took the place of the landline. But that's so my numbers are kind of based off of. I've been running this budget for 12 years now. So I took our budget that works, and then I trimmed it down for somebody that's living by themselves.
Yeah.
and trimmed it down for a different house. I don't live in a $150,000 house anymore.
Sure.
We've got 3 people live in my house, but I've done it with 4
Right.
kids. I've done it with 4 kids on lean times, and I've done it with 1 kid where we're doing pretty good. So I've seen both sides of this. All right, so somebody who lives in all right, well, you're on propane, so you don't know what you're paying for gas because you've got a monthly or an annual. So
Yeah.
I took mine, so our energy bill is actually
Oh, it's like
embarrassingly
I do know
high.
that
Mine's
now.
$200 a month for our house. It shouldn't be that high. It's stupid. I still haven't figured out
Well-
in the decade that I've lived there exactly what's eating it because anyway, doesn't matter.
I mean, we're at like close to. It's like between the house and the shop, which obviously that takes
The shop's
the shop
killing you.
kills me. But I mean that bumped us up. But before that, we had it filled twice a year. It's a 1,000-gallon tank, so you had 2,000 gallons a year, and
So I've got electricity and gas, $150 a month.
I'd agree
It's
with that.
probably less than that. If you're in a $150,000 house, your insulation's probably not great. Your windows are not new. So I didn't take my house and just like cut it in half.
Right.
You know, so I kind of took it up a little bit
I
because I don't want this budget to be you can do it if you only eat ramen noodles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not- again, that's
that
not-
is not the goal of this thing.
Right.
I tried to keep it realistic. So anybody else have any utility? I mean, does that seem right in there? $150 a month.
So I actually, this is from my house here, or my place in Ames that we were living. Now, granted, it was 5 dudes, 5 college guys living there, so
Splitting it, yeah.
water's going to be a lot higher. And
Sure,
then
yeah.
I think there was probably about 60 air changes a minute. You know, every time the wind blew, you could
Right.
feel it. I could feel it underneath the couch. And
What do you are you guys on budget billing up there?
for what's that?
So Alliant and Mid American both have a program called budget billing where they basically assume what it's going to be. Some months are a little bit higher, some months are a little bit less, but our monthly bill is always the same. For my house, I think it's like $210. And then at the end of the year, they're like, yeah, we were wrong about that.
Right. You either get a little money back or you pay a little bit more.
Right. And then
you know?
next year they make an adjustment. So
Yeah.
are you guys on budget billing or are you just
Nope.
kind of.
So we just had we had Alliant, and then Ames was our water, sewer, electric, and then trash. garbage guys.
So what do you got for your monthly?
So we're coming in around somewhere around like the 280 range. I mean, some months
And that was for
paid up to like
that was
320,
gas,
some-
trash, water. Yeah, with that I've got that on a second line, but yeah, I'm at 250 for electricity,
I'd
gas,
say,
water, and trash.
Some months I'm even down to like 150, but some months I'm up to like 320. So
Yeah.
it's that 250 area would probably be.
Okay. Anybody else got a number they disagree with?
I don't have it broken down that granularly. I just rolled it all up into what's called like other necessities. So it'd be like electricity, water, gas, all of that
And
stuff.
what do you got?
Total for that category is $820 a month.
But there's
Let's look at what your number is because you are
Right.
wildly outside of what we're at.
Right. So other necessities would be that includes like toilet paper,
Groceries for most people.
well,
That kind of
groceries
stuff
different.
I've
Food-
got in my groceries.
yeah, that's what
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't have that in groceries. That's at least with the
When we go to
living
the
wage
grocery
calculator has it based through other necessities. It's got food separate, but those other necessities, it's basically
toilet
got that.
paper, deodorant, soap.
Right. Just all those.
Phone bills aren't too cheap either.
No.
Probably in there.
Right.
That's a necessity. Says you.
Now I'm not going to say anybody's name, but everybody in my outside of me because I'm on an old plan. I should probably change because they really do. I'm on an old plan. I mean, mine's I think $90 a month, and it's unlimited stuff, right? I can tell you that that Heather and Bo are both on. Actually, I think they're on 2 different ones, and then we've got like family plans with people in family members in Chicago, and everybody just Venmos. It's $30 a month, and they've got unlimited, and nobody's got any dead spots, and they're on 2 different. I'm not going to name the carriers, but nobody has any problems, and it's unlimited talk, text, data, 5G.
I don't know. It seems a little hard to believe because I'll name. We have
have a phone-
Verizon
you have
and
phone
we still
payment?
have problems with it.
Get in the comments if you want to know what
Yeah,
that
I was
is.
gonna
Luke will
say.
DM you. Don't
I
worry.
was gonna say
I'll hit you up.
you've got U.S. Cellular and I've got Verizon. and I still got dead
extra
spots.
Yeah, now
I
it's
sat in the dead zone
yeah.
there for about half an hour on our way up from Missouri.
It changed.
to Iowa.
It changed.
SOS.
It was supposed to be better. It's not good.
It's horrible.
They say in the middle of anywhere, and I asked for the middle of somewhere.
So
He doesn't want to tell people what it is because they'll go get it and then it won't be a deal anymore.
Right? Yeah. Seriously. No, I mean,
$30 a month.
Yeah.
No, that's a great deal. That's a great deal.
crazy.
And for people that aren't on your phones for a living, I mean, that's what me and Blake do. Phone service is one of our like most important necessities for work. If you don't have that, having a cheaper cellular service, your TikTok taking longer to load this video right now is really not going to make any difference.
Well, especially if you're a little bit of a couch potato too. Like you're at home, you're on Wi-Fi. Like you're not even using your data.
Right.
You know? So
Right.
it's only really useful if you're out on the go. You know?
Right. Well, and that is a good topic of conversation. You know, if you've got your cell phone with unlimited data, do you need internet and Wi-Fi at home? There's a lot of people that are using the phones as hotspots.
No, first year we were married, we didn't have internet the first year or two we were married.
We always have. I don't know if it's doable or not.
You don't see the little asterisk underneath there. It says unlimited, but it will slow down.
Right. It will limit you. Yeah. You can't stream Netflix on there.
Well,
all the
and
time.
maybe that's different.
Okay.
I mean, we got like
My hotspot.
that was one of the things though. We paid extra. We paid, I think it was $5 a month extra to have fully unlimited. Because I straight up told him I was going to use my phone as a hotspot. Mm-hmm. And we used to watch TV and Netflix stuff on it. But
In fact, you got a little Verizon box for
right,
just
and
hotspot
exactly, like it's got its own cell service, so you can get that too. But I mean, we didn't pay, but we don't watch a lot of TV and we don't play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I've got the phone.
Wi-Fi's not needed for you guys, really.
Right.
Now again, I'm trying to be realistic, and these deals are out there, and you can take your number, and I need to. But our home internet. And it comes with a free landline. I've got a landline number. There's not even a landline in my house anymore. I was like, when we built, we did not run them. But that was the deal. You had to get a landline number and your internet. It's $55 a month. Again, your results may vary, but that's through our small town, and it's.
What was your Wi-Fi bill? Because you guys are just
I
dealing
did
with
not
that.
pay that. That was
So between my phone and my internet, I've got $90.
I put $100 in for that.
So call it $100. We're on the same page.
Yeah, it's about there.
Isn't that what you can get Starlink's like $50 or something like that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Really? Is it that cheap?
I think so.
Yeah, satellite's pretty cheap. Yep. It's going back to the spottiness. It can get pretty spotty
Is it?
if it's cloudy or you're underneath a building or something.
So it does. I looked into it, but it wouldn't work great in our shop because
Well, the other option is like
yeah, right, exactly.
like the old microwave towers is what they would use out in the rural areas, but you got to have line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's amazing.
We had to drill through our building and set an antenna on the outside and run it to the internet on the inside.
Yeah.
Or to the internet
that's for your
box.
antenna. They've got my cousin got the microwave one where they had to put it, and they're wherever their towers were, they had to be able to. It was line of sight, and it worked great every year until about July, August, and then it just turned to garbage.
Too hot.
No, corn.
Oh,
The corn would grow up and block their internet signal. So long as the neighbor was planting beans, they were fine.
yeah. Ours was around 80.
Starlink would be
right around 80.
great idea.
Well, and again, there's setup costs with that. I mean, everything here you can take with a grain of salt because there's depending on where you're at, what you're doing, what you need for internet speed, that kind of stuff. It's all going to change.
So far, we are all agreeing with each other way too much. We've got the same house. We've got the same job. We've got the same, essentially, our phone bill, our water bill, all that stuff.
Do you want to just go through the numbers? And
Well,
just
that's
see,
what I'm trying to get
kind of
down
fast
through.
track it.
Groceries. Who's got what for groceries? One person per month.
I've
got $300.
I had 420.
Interesting. Okay. So now with that 420, again, I'm basing this off of our family of three. Our grocery bill is $800 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And now your 420 didn't include toilet paper and all that stuff either. Right. My 800 for a family of three does. That's deodorant. That's toilet paper. That's all the stuff that you go to a grocery store.
I've got
Walmart.
$1,000 in mine.
For groceries?
Yeah.
For one person?
No, I'm saying food. So that also counted
Dining.
whether you go out on a date night or you go out on if you eat out once, or I think it was once a week or something like that.
All right. So yeah, we got a big discrepancy. So I'm going to challenge that one hard. $1,000.
But I'd say
No, there ain't no
So
going.
mine
we're not going out.
included restaurants too. That's like it was
what were
basically
you
like
at?
420. So it's like, but my
me
guess
make
is
sure I
most of
check
it would
that
just be probably at 300, and then it lumped, going out twice a month.
So I've got an entertainment
Okay.
number a little bit later. So I've got what I was trying to get to was kind of a bare minimum to own a house and your car, and then anything above and beyond that. Now we're living large.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the American dream is going out and eating out at a decent restaurant twice a week,
Well, if you,
Twice a month.
I figured that.
$1,000.
Oh yeah. I don't know what's going on
For
there.
me, I guess,
That is a huge number.
for me at 23, living on my own and cooking for one. Now, this is definitely inflated, but I'd say if I did eat at home, now I'm pretty good at stopping by the parents whenever it's dinner time. Yeah, just swinging by.
Wait, okay.
Oh, I
hold
just
on.
happened to show up.
Wait, are we-
Yeah, I guess I would. But I
I found
put
my-
like 75 weekly, and then for like being
So
in that
75
age
weekly
range,
is $300 a month.
300 a month, and
Okay.
then like going out. So whether that be you're in your 20s, you might be going out on the weekends here or there, and then also just dining out and stuff like that. I have about $100 weekly, so that's about $700 total for
Okay.
kind of all.
And just so we're clear, I mean that kind of stuff can fit into your budget. I mean, if going out that many times is what you're looking for, it's still what are you willing to give up? Because we've all agreed that our housing and our income is the same. So when we get
Yeah,
down
you
to
start
it,
flexing it. I mean,
something's got to go up, something's going to come down. Because Ben's going to run out of money pretty quick here. I don't know what you're getting for free. I've got to see what the number.
well,
is gonna come out
so
here.
my
Yeah.
food for a single person was $400 to $500.
Okay.
And that still includes that person grabbing some McDonald's, that
Yeah.
person going
Yep.
and doing that stuff.
Right.
'Cause
I agree, $400 a month. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like that's
400
generally
so
around there,
I
but
didn't know if I guess I was down on my family for an entire family. What we
Gotcha.
talked
Oh
about.
yeah.
Now,
See, and that's what I've got for a family too. Is I have $1,033 for a family.
Okay.
and I did look at kind of what Elizabeth spends on at the grocery store. I just ran it through chat, ran our credit card bill through chat, and that's about what it came to. So
Perfect.
but again, she's buying very quality food, that kind of stuff. She's not buying Kraft mac and cheese or whatever.
All right, I'm ready for some big differences on
All
this one.
right.
Transportation,
Single person,
single person.
$700 a month.
Okay, that's a little taller than I've got. I've got 500.
I had
Stay
650.
around that. 500 a month.
So
yeah.
between $500 and $700.
Yeah. I mean, we're still like pretty close here, but
still-
I think to your
Well-
point, Luke, like we are very quickly approaching like out of money. You know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but I'm sitting here with a very small vehicle payment, so 100, 125, 100, 150. That'll buy you about $10,000 car if you had a payment.
If you had a payment.
If you don't have a payment, then that's out. Fuel, oil changes, tires, just general maintenance, and then yearly vehicle registration. I
Yep.
figured everything on about a $10,000 car because a $10,000 car is a nice car that will get you to work, get you where you're going, that kind of stuff. You're not going to just
Right.
be
You don't need to go
money
get a
pitting on a $10,000.
massive payment for some brand new truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're buying a $150,000 house, we're driving a car that also fits that scenario.
Right.
We're living that lifestyle, right?
Yep.
When we start growing our lifestyle, we get to make choices. Do I want to go out to eat more? Do I want the better car? Do I want to start improving the house? Do I want to buy a new house?
Right.
But you can't have it all at once. And you're right, Ben. We're coming right down to it to where we're getting thin. So then we got
Right. We haven't even finished our budget.
We haven't
you
even
know,
finished
and,
our budget,
and we're
so-
almost out of money.
I said $700, but I also have $100 additional for auto insurance.
So I've got it
guys are around-
between insurance, gas, and I called it maintenance because I've literally never had a car payment in my life. I started with family was nice enough when I was in high school. I was driving a 1984 Ford Tempo. When the transmission went out of that, I was in a 78 Caprice Classic.
Oh yeah,
It was a two-door.
Let's
So
go.
So
Yeah.
it was sporty.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that thing, I mean, I learned how to change brake lines in my driveway. I hate brakes. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. But I drove that car until there was nothing left of it, right? And when I was ready to go up to the next one, I saved money until I had enough. Whatever cash I had is what vehicle I drove, and that was the end of it.
Well, and if you have a decent car, okay, Blake, you're looking at in the near future wanting to get out of the vehicle you're in, right?
Yeah.
Right? If you're budgeting though, you could be budgeting in like you already have have more like a couple hundred bucks.
It's called a sinking fund, and we'll get there.
And then eventually, okay, hey, I've got $7,000 and I can sell this car for $2,000 and I got $9,000, I'm gonna go buy a car.
Because I will argue towards the end of this that there are very few actual emergencies in our lives. Most things you can plan for. Mm-hmm. The four tires on your car don't magically go bad.
Oh my gosh, I need tires right now. No, I knew they were on cables.
That's a $20,000 to $30,000 or 20 to 30,000 mile expenditure. We know it. Yep. It's gonna happen. You might get 40 or 50,000. They are for sure gonna need to be replaced, and everybody knows how much they cost. They're $800 or $1,000, whatever it is. You just start backtracking. If you need to save $10 a month to get you out to 30,000 miles, you put that in the fund.
I know I need an LOF change or oil change.
Right.
At LOF.
That's not a surprise.
$60, $70. Okay, I'm gonna save $10.
Right.
For 7 or 6 months until
there are things that come up, and we can talk about
100%.
emergency funds and all that. But
and
for the most part,
if you are just surviving, and just scraping by, and you got a cheap car, car emergencies might pop up more. Mm-hmm. But in that point, if you're spending so much money on emergencies, start investing in a better car.
I'll make the argument though. I've got a really, really nice car, and I still have problems with it. I mean, we're about to put a fuel pump in the thing, so
I wouldn't say you treat them the best.
Well, that's true. I mean, but we did get almost 80. I think Micah said 79,000 miles out of a single set of tires.
Solid.
Yeah, wild.
So
I was complaining about new tires.
If you count gas into yours, Luke, what would you? So you said about 500.
Yeah, I had about 500. And yeah, again, that's based off of
fuel, car payment.
That's based off of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And some of that money, I've got that vehicle maintenance in there. I've got $130 worth of vehicle maintenance. It doesn't cost anybody $130 to maintain your vehicle, but there's about 100 of that goes into a sinking fund every month.
That's right. Yeah, it'll ebb and flow. Just
right. Yeah, because you might need a $2,000, $3,000 transmission rebuild. Well, I've got the money sitting in the account for that because it's in the budget.
So instead of a vehicle payment, we just set it aside. Yep. And the longer we can get that car to stretch, the bigger that number grows until, when if my truck goes today, I've got $10,000 in there. If I can make it last another 2 years, all of a sudden I've got $30,000 in that account. Yeah. I can get a heck of a lot different vehicle if I can make that thing last a little bit longer. I'm not putting it through stress test every single day. Let's see if I can jump this terrace.
If you hear that brake indicator turn on, maybe you should start slowing down a little bit. I need new brake pads coming. So
yeah. Don't drive it and wear your rotors out. Pay attention. And
don't seize your.
If you want to talk about this, I mean, everybody listening out there, for crying out loud, just pay attention.
Yeah.
There are so many, and I'll call them emergencies, that get created by people just not having situational awareness or whatever it is. If you see something, if you're hearing something, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's yourself, go to the doctor, for crying out loud, which we can talk about medical insurance. I think I've got, do I have that on there?
Yeah, let's go to that.
Yeah, let's go to that. Ben, I bet you've got better numbers than I do on this. What do you got for medical, Ben?
So I have 300 a month, but this is really probably the most
Wait, for a single person?
You've got $300 a month?
How many people that are single in their 20s are getting health insurance?
Everybody.
Not through
Is it still mandated?
Well, if we're sticking around that 25-year-old.
So like I said, it's this one's really variable because if you're under 25, you can still qualify under ACA, right? Under your parents. So then that just kind of goes away.
Let's say it's not. This is
right. So that's where it's it's 300. Right? But then it's again, even if you've got now
is that on the open market, or is that finding something through work?
I don't know. That's just the
So
median.
you had 300. I had 200, and that was based on most of your employers have a health care plan.
Mm-hmm.
Shop around. Anybody out there looking for work? I mean, it's huge when.
It's worth cash money.
It's absolutely worth cash money. This is something huge, and this is great advice for anybody listening out there. When you are looking for a job, don't just look at that dollar that they're offering you. All those benefits are worth actual cash money.
For sure.
Insurance is a huge one. You know, you got to find out, you know, what are they willing to kick into your, and we'll talk about, you know, retirement and stuff like that, but what are they willing to kick in on that? The insurance portion though, if you can find somebody that is, your monthly payment's only $200 instead of $300, guess what? They're paying you $100 extra a month. Then that place down the road, and whatever number that correlates out to, a couple bucks an hour, right? So, well, these guys are only paying $26 an hour, but my insurance is literally free.
Right.
Well, guess
well,
what?
there's all sorts of
$5 an hour
like
bump.
There's all sorts of like little things in there too, where, you know, depending on your employer's plan, it's like, well, this employer, you know, covers specialty, you know, drugs or whatever, like,
Right.
you know, and so there's all these like little things that you need to make sure that you're looking out for.
Well, yeah, if you have diabetes,
that really,
you look at, hey, is my, you know, insulin or whatever.
Most
Right, and
places
so-
are going to have multiple plans.
right.
They'll have a cheap one that's just your what do you call it, the high deductible one.
Yep.
Where it's just a where your money goes into a savings account basically, and
Yep.
your deductible is crazy, but you know, if you can do it, everything you spend out of it's basically 30% off or 20% because you're not paying any taxes on.
Yep.
Versus if you're on a lot of medications, you're going to have to get that higher plan, and it does cost more. There's just no getting around it. But
Right.
you got to do a little bit of math. You got to be a grown up when it's time. When it's
Right, and that's like where this one, you know, that's really the most like individual cost. You know, it's like most
your
people
health changes
right
totally. I mean, if
person to
you're-
person, like your health expenses are
I
just
mean,
going to be wildly
if
different.
you're
you know,
25-year-old, like I don't think I've been to the doctor other than the ER since I was 17 years old. Like if I was single and didn't have, you know, the ability to have insurance, I don't know
most
that I'd have
young
it.
people, I'm going to make a recommendation. I know we're probably not supposed to. If you're young, get that HSA, the health savings account. It's a very low cost.
Can't you?
I don't know about borrowing against it. I don't want to tell anybody to do that.
I don't think so. I don't think you can. No.
Isn't that like a secret way you can like somehow?
I think you can backdoor a Roth out of it somehow, but
That's what.
yeah, we don't need to get. We're not going to be.
We're not your accountant.
Yeah, all
Take
right.
any advice given
Yeah.
on this.
But it is a very cost effective way to get into, you know, health insurance. First off, yes, you can. Every dollar that goes into your HSA is pre-tax, which means it is the full amount. It's before your 20% or 25%, whatever bracket you're in. Which means that every time you go and spend it, it's basically 20% off that bill. And it's cash money, essentially, which means that a lot of doctors will give you a better rate. There's usually a cash amount, and there's if we have to run this thing through insurance amount.
Yep.
And using that HSA, you're going to get that cash rate. So I do recommend for anybody that's starting out that doesn't have a lot of medical bills, they don't see anything on the future, get that HSA. Now, if you break your leg, hopefully it's on the job and your employer pays for it. If you've got an HSA, maybe motocross is not the sport for you. just putting that out there. Yeah, life is not a durability test.
All right.
Take it easy.
No bull riding.
We no bull riding. We know, you know who you are.
All right, so I'm willing to settle on that $300 a month.
Yeah.
If we move past there, the last kind of chunk of stuff that I've got in my budget is just all the personal and extra stuff, which is where I landed for going out to eat, entertainment, just kind of your day-to-day stuff. Because you don't want to, when you're creating this budget, you don't want to go, I don't have any money. I'm at work and all I have is grocery money, which is locked up for the grocery store. I don't have $5 to go and get.
Well, yeah. Then you are just living that paycheck to paycheck, and one problem.
Right. It's not. I mean, I guess it's not the single person American dream either. Then, you know, at that point, right?
Sure.
So, do you have anything for like retirement?
Not yet.
You know,
So when I get through this thing, and I've got the things that I've got on there is I've got just extra spending.
Mm-hmm.
I've got I've got about $350 worth of. I've got Amazon Prime and Netflix on there, you know, because you're going to get that.
No, there's got to be a little bit of things.
There got to be a few things
Yeah.
in there, right? So I've got a clothing allowance in there, and this number's actually probably a little bit high. I've got $70 for clothing a month. Most single people starting out, depending on what you're doing, you know. Now if you want a pair of boots, they're $300, right?
Right.
Now,
You're
you
saving
better
for
not be
4
getting a
months.
pair of boots every.
But are you wearing out your last pair of boots in 3 months?
Maybe, and then your budget changes, right? I mean,
Well,
if
but
you're
you
burning
shouldn't
through
be.
stuff, you shouldn't.
$300
Right.
pair of boots.
So I've got roughly
thrifting's in now,
$350
too, so.
of dinking around money, whether it's a little bit of entertainment, whether that's Netflix, Amazon, and again, if you want to spend a little bit of money going out, you're gonna have to flex up, flex down. So after
$75 a week, though, I mean that's pretty reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's again.
So what's like your all in then? Like what is your all in?
my all-in total budget for the month? My income was $3,500 and some change. My out was $3,200. I've got $300 a month roughly left over.
For
The
Yep.
actual number is $355 that I have not spent yet.
It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight.
Well,
you know?
is it $355?
When some of
In-
your
in-
line
in
items
two-
aren't
in
even
2
$300
months.
bucks.
If now, I don't recommend starting to I don't want to turn this into an accounting program or an investment program, but I would not recommend investing yet. If I've only got $350, we're not investing any money. We got to get some money put aside. First off, if you're buying a house and if you don't have any money put aside, you do not go down to absolute zero on that first house that you buy. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You better have
Couple grand sitting
couple
there. Something's
grand
gonna
sitting there
happen.
because something is going to happen. Absolutely. So usually, and I subscribe to the Ramsey method. It works for me. Your results may vary. We keep aside between 3 and 6 months of expenses. Now that number, keep in mind, is not the number when you're working. When you're working, 6 months of expenses is different than when you're sitting at home. You don't have childcare expense when you're sitting at home. You better not. Now you do have to go out and try and find a job, because this is if something you get fired, right? So obviously you're going to have to find some daycare at some point to go out and interview. So I get that. But you're not going to have the gas money of going to work every day. You're not going to have lunch money of going to work every day. You're going to have to start cutting some corners.
You're going to tighten.
You're going to tighten it up.
You're going to
right?
know.
Knowing
It's
until
like,
I
hey,
get income coming back in the door, then you're changing your lifestyle a little bit. You
So
don't go out.
our family of 3, that number's in between $12,000 and $15,000 to get us where we're comfortable.
Right.
I could probably turn that thing way down, right? And first thing that happens when we lose our job, Netflix is done. Turn it off.
Sure.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
But like, again, going back to your budget was $3,500 a month. Who in a rural town is making that much money a month?
$28 an hour.
Who's making that?
A lot
And
of
Anybody?
people.
Well,
nobody.
Okay, well, in a rural town like Fairfield, your expenses are different. I'm basing this number off of you making $28 an hour in the Midwest Metro.
Metro. Okay.
Well, okay, but even take
because
the metro
because
out.
well, but that's our housing
How,
costs.
how many
That's
people
our
in
that's our
Cambridge? They all.
when
they all
I
make-
say
they
metro,
make
I'm still talking
this.
20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes away.
Polk County and its surrounding counties. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Polk Story,
Yeah.
whatever.
Within commuting distance to where you can make $28 an hour
Yeah.
to buy
But it might be
a
some-
$150,000 house.
If you are commuting an hour to work, though, maybe you have that cheaper housing, but your car budget's probably a little
Sure.
more.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
you definitely
Right.
move, but
You're going to want more. You're not just scooting by. Yeah, I'm going to get a
Blake,
nicer
you
car.
see it, and you probably know people like this that are willing. Heck, I'm one of them. That are willing to take a little bit longer commute. I've seen people go 45 minutes to an hour away so they can buy that acreage. I just want 5 acres.
So
5 acres in a single wide.
Yeah.
And I'll take that hour-long commute because
well, I mean, I'm 30 minutes from anywhere, but it's because I want to live in the country. I don't want to live in the city, so
Yeah.
I don't get to have, Walmart right down the road from me. You're 2 minutes from anywhere
Yeah.
at your house. I'm saying, I know. Okay, so for instance, this weekend, a guy got his pickup stuck a few miles from my house. Happened to know somebody I knew. They gave me a call. I go pull him out of the ditch. So I stopped and talked to him, and there's about 5 guys there. One of them was on a line boring crew. So he works all around locally, but central Iowa, running fiber cable. And another one was a union pipe fitter. And the other one was, he worked for a precast company. They are all 23 years old. And the cheapest, or the guy making the least amount of money at 24, I think he was like $27, $28 an hour. And then the union guy was making almost $40 an hour, and they're all 20-something years old. You know, around here, there is, well, not even around here, a lot of places that the trades allow you to, I mean, my guys never came to the shop every morning. They went to wherever the job was. So some weeks it might be 5 miles from their house. Some weeks it's an hour from their house.
And a lot of places like that are not going to have you driving your personal vehicle across the state.
I mean, if
or if they are, you're getting mileage at $76
Yeah.
or 76 cents a mile right now for anybody that's doing that. Get your money. But it's also generally going to pay more if you have to travel. You know,
Or we
transit
provided
across
work
the
trucks.
state.
We buy work trucks out.
Well, just to like bring it back around. So I think the economics probably work out a little bit better, obviously for a single person, right? But like, can we jump into the family?
Not quite yet. I want
Okay,
to
go ahead.
I want to play around with
Yeah.
this leftover shavings.
Okay.
So if we're sitting on there and we have at this point we've got our entertainment, we're
About 10% of your income is still available.
yeah. I mean realistically, yeah.
10%.
Well,
$350 doesn't sound like much, but yeah, you're right.
But
That's 10%.
But there's no retirement or anything in there?
No retirement.
Okay. So
Until. So once we start putting some of this aside and we get those emergency funds set up, we got the tires are ready and paid for. We've got a little bucket of money sitting over there. We've got, when the furnace goes bad or the AC goes bad, water heater, fridge. Guess what, folks? When you own your own house, you got to start
Those things
paying for
happen.
everything. These things happen, and they're going to happen. Hopefully, not often, but
Right.
every 10 years, be ready for
Well,
it.
if you're buying a $150,000 house, it's an older house, and
Yeah, absolutely.
Things are going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to have a budget in there for
and-
mousetraps.
So until you get that savings set aside, we're not talking about any retirement or anything like that. Now, once you've got all that set up, and again, it could take a couple years to get all those buckets filled, and making sure that we're not dipping into credit cards. We can have we're not going to start a whole thing here. Don't use them.
stay away from
Don't
them
use them.
if you can.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You can. You are literally making free money. If you have the right mindset and you're smart enough to use it, you're making free money. I mean, that's
Yeah.
But you've got to have it in the budget.
Right.
yes.
But
you have to just
But I mean, we utilize for our business
So-
and our personal, we utilize an American Express charge card.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's delaying the bill 30 days, but you don't get credit. Our bill is due in 30 days, and you don't get to not pay the full amount. And there's
always
no,
paying
like
full.
so that
Most people that
Item
use credit
works.
cards have no idea what their
Right.
bill's going to be at the end of the month. They're not operating off of
Well,
a budget.
yes,
A personal tip too would be if you're not looking at your finances daily, you should be, because you
Right.
should be completely aware. If $100 just goes randomly missing out of your bank account,
Right.
you want to be aware before the 1,000 comes out, and B, so you're on track of your own stuff. And so like if you have a credit card, you should have that app ready. Get on it. You Face ID these days. Just scan your face, look at it. Okay, that's how much I have. Go to your bank account.
Right.
Okay, subtract that.
And there's plenty of apps out there that will take care of a
They'll
lot
do
of that
all
stuff
that
for you,
yeah.
and even free apps.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
They start charging you for when you want to start doing it automatically.
Yeah.
Don't fall into that trap. Put in a little legwork. This is your
it's
money.
a spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet.
Well,
It's all
not
you
even
put
that.
the
I mean,
line
there-
item.
there's
wanna
some
know
budgeting
where-
apps
you
out
wanna
there
be- like
that-
I don't mess with automatic payments. I don't like that. I like to physically
Yes.
put in like the card number or whatever, or like click per like. Or
Well, because
pay
when
or
your
whatever.
phone bill goes up, and it's always been $57 a month, $57 a month, $57 a month, $72 a month. If it's
Right.
on auto pay, you go, where did my money go?
Never know.
So those are those things. If you want to live this lifestyle, there is more responsibility and money management and intentionality about your life that you're going to have.
Well, again, I just go back to like the way we're trying to frame this is, the American dream. Even like at a single person, we're saying, I guess we're all pretty much in agreement that a budget of $3,500 a month is, even without retirement, is
You're
kind
right
of
on there. Yeah.
right on there, right? But like, Iowa Workforce Development for Polk County has the median weekly as like $1,400, right? And so if we extrapolate that out, we're at just over 5,000, right? And so
Take home.
take home. Yep, right. So that kind of like the economics there kind of work out for a single
Right,
person,
and
right?
that's why I don't like using sites like that, because
Yeah.
that brings in also your 50 somethings that are well into their careers, right? And I'm trying to base this off of our main target audience, which is those young people that are starting
Well,
out
yeah.
that are just getting their feet underneath
Yeah.
them. And for everybody out there, again, this is not for, you can do it. This is not for a 21 or a 22-year-old kid. Keep renting. Keep renting. Get your feet underneath you.
Stockpiling your money. Saving
Stockpile
for
the
that
money.
down
As I
payment.
said,
I know-
that 1,500 can easily be cut down to 500. I mean, it depends
Live
where
with a
you're
couple
at.
guys and be $500 a month.
But,
And put
I mean,
your-
I live
Start
in
and
college
get
town.
that budget put together and start banking that money.
What's if you cut that down to 500 in our budget? If you cut that down to 500 and made the same amount of money, you would make an extra
Yeah,
thousand
a month right there.
a month. Now
Now you're gonna be
making less money.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe you only have 6,000 a year that you can put back into that. But $6,000 a year.
$6,000 a year as
house
a 20 or a 21-year-old kid for a couple years. I mean, you got to keep it tight. That's the whole thing. You got to be able to, have that accountability with yourself, and that's probably the hardest thing for any young people growing up, is being accountable to yourself, because we don't have accountability partners when we're starting off with ourselves, right?
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
nobody going, do you really need
sure?
to buy that other that new computer game, or
Yeah.
you know,
Hey, Blake, that's
what-
a $100 bottle of whiskey. Do we need to buy that? I don't know. Maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't.
Never know.
Well, I guess it just doesn't seem like it bodes well though when if we're at that family level. So
Okay.
I think it's
you're ready to crank it.
I'm ready. You can
Yeah.
you can tell I'm really rearing to get into that
Moving-
because yeah.
I mean, I get we're still talking about the same kind of age range too, like
We could be.
25 to
We could
30.
be, yep.
Still,
So now, how do you want to run this? Because we had found last time that the 2-income family is around 1.25. I don't know if you guys remember that number.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a true, we're making
Double.
twice as much now, but part of that was, 3 out of 4 families are staying home on that second income, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that shakes out. So do you guys want to run this with a true dual income, or do you want to run it with a,
I'm gonna
would-
go with the average incomes that I found. I didn't just double it.
Okay.
So I just went to and you're right. Technically, by the numbers, 1.3% or 1.3 people per household are working right now. I mean, that was like the average.
Right, and I don't know quite what to do with that number. That's where I get a little
Well,
bit.
I guess just again the framing is the American dream, and like double income is not really that, is it?
No, we were talking about
Yeah.
one person potentially staying home,
Yeah, right.
right? Or
Right.
maybe a part-time job,
Yeah.
and obviously this all changes if the kids are of school age. If the kids are of school age and you can, they call them mother's hours, where, you get to go to work after the kids
7
go to
to
school.
3 or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Those are hard to come by.
Yeah.
They are out there, but yeah, I'm not going to base,
Yeah, I certainly don't have stats for that. That dual income.
So how do you want to run it? You want to run?
I mean, if you want to run it on a single income, that's fine. I also have that, so it don't really matter to me. I know a lot of this because I literally live this scenario. You live this scenario. We should have pretty easy numbers. You
No,
live
I'm
that
dual
scenario
income.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got to put out there, if we're looking at this four person, how do you want to call it?
Nuclear family.
Nuclear.
We'll just call it nuclear family. All right.
Yep.
I'm going to start off with saying that one person should not only be making $28 an hour in this
Agreed.
scenario.
Agreed.
So if we have started our family, if we have decided, now if you haven't decided to start the family, if it just happens, then this is a different discussion. But if you have chosen to get married and start a family, I sure hope that you have
Made good financial decisions to let her stay home.
right.
I mean, that's
I don't think that it's doable on $28 an hour. Absolutely not.
No. Oh no. Not. Yeah. It's
no. I agree.
Okay, so what is that bottom dollar then?
So I've got basically,
So,
and
I
again,
guess-
this is without retirement savings, no college savings for your kids, no vacations, no restaurant spending, luxury purchases, or substantial emergency savings. I've got basically all in is $38.24 an hour, like
yeah,
the single income.
I've got 70 to 80,000.
Right, that's
in the
essentially what
low
that
end
works
and
out.
80 to 90,000 the high end.
Right. So I have all in like salary wise or hourly is 6,628 a month or 79,000, and that's before tax.
And I think that's pretty reasonable. So if you're looking at that number, it's either one person making 38
Yep.
or one person making 28 and the other person making 10 or 15 when they can. Maybe it's a part-time
Well,
job. Maybe it's a
Yeah. That
Now-
that
now-
assumes
now
there's
is
no
this
child care at all. Right.
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
So yeah, now we start talking. All right, so let's take it down because I did stop my exercise short. I've got these numbers. I could actually pull open our budget and run it. But so I kind of do know what these numbers off the top of my head. But fire away. What do you got for housing? What kind of house are we living in?
So
with-
I've
with-
got the same exact house.
Yeah, I've
same
got
house.
too.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I-
So we're still in a starter house.
Right.
'cause
Right.
we're-
You got
Right.
your house.
You're a young
already.
family.
You got married. You probably have 2 kids. So you're around
Right, and-
25 to 38 year-old age range. It's kind of the same, but just
So this is story time. So this weekend we go on vacation. We go on vacation back to hometown, right? Staying with my folks. And I took the family and Elizabeth on a little road trip. Just I wanted to show them our
yeah, it kind of sucks. I missed that. I actually did want to.
well, and it was this was a house that my folks had rented when we were getting ready to build their first house. And they didn't build their first house. We didn't move into a house that we owned until they were, Jiminy, 40? I mean, Dad owned his own business. Now, Dad owned his own business. Mom stayed home for the most part. There was a time when, kids went to babysitters and she needed to get a job because
It was tight.
no, she was going to strangle somebody if she had to stay home with those kids. She needed to get out of the house, and we needed to get with other kids. So that was just, I don't think she made any money. I think it was probably about a wash, but it was good for everybody. Anyway, so there was a house that we moved into. And we pulled up to this thing, and we're rolling down the street, and the Heather and the kids and Elizabeth are kind of looking around. Oh, it's kind of a nice neighborhood. It's the yellow one up on the left. What? You guys, I said 7 of us. There was 7 of us in that. It's like, are you serious? Yeah, us 4 boys. We had sheets hung up in a square down in the basement, and we all shared a room. Sister and mom and dad were upstairs. Yeah, and it was
Well, I mean, that's
800 square feet, and that's what it took.
right.
know?
Well, I mean, and that's
Was
like,
it comfortable? No, I don't remember exactly how. We were only there. I thought it was like 4 or 5 years. Mom said it was like 2.
Well, and I mean, I shared her. I mean, I'm one of 7 kids. At one time, all of us were home. So you
Yeah.
had 9 people living in a house. I shared a room till I was a teenager, just until enough kids exited the facility that we could add some room space, and so. Yes, it absolutely can be done. Or for now, our kids share a room, but I guess we're getting away from this. We're going and putting an addition on, so
Right.
it's just
I'd say
But it's
sharing-
absolutely
sharing-
doable. So for those listening at home, $150,000. We're in the same house that we started with when we were 25, 26. We bought that house for 150, 165K. Decided to get married and have a couple kids. We're still in the same house,
right.
right? Okay, so moving on from there. What else has changed? You got next line is
Right. Food. So food's obviously gone way up. So we went from 420 to 1,033.
I've got $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, our family of 3 right now, and one of them's a teenager. Just getting his appetite on. And grocery prices are going up, so don't. But we haven't changed our budget. I think we're changing our budget here this month because it's been getting tighter and tighter and tighter, right? And that is part of this whole budgeting thing, right?
Yeah.
When you pick a number, stuff changes, right?
Right.
You don't get as much ice cream when ice cream prices start going up. That's just
Yeah.
the deal. You start living on some more eggs, or
Right.
whatever it is. it doesn't have to always just trend up. Same thing with when your income changes, your budgets don't have to creep up with it. You can be,
For sure.
right where you're at.
Yeah.
So we were doing it for $800 with the three of us.
Also, that seems like
Another
reasonable. Go
200 for
another
an
200 for
yeah.
another kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
I have 1,300. That includes
Now, again, some of these are how old these kids are.
1,000 plus 300.
Babies,
No.
formula, and all that stuff is wicked expensive, right?
right?
Yeah.
That's what. So I mean, I just averaged it out. I looked at what we spent, and again, a grain of salt. Elizabeth buys high quality food. That costs more. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This jar of peanut butter is 3 times as much as the Skippy's peanut butter.
But yeah, I mean,
Too bad.
yeah, I think we're not trying to create like the survival
Right,
level
right.
thing either. So it kind of
But at $1,000, you can do it.
I'd say the American dream though is I can go in, go grocery shopping, and it's like I can select my preferred brands.
Yeah, so $1,000 a month.
Yeah, that seems right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go no.
No.
I mean, for some things. All right.
American dream, though. If we're
There's
going American dream. I can go grocery shopping and I could just like I'm obviously not going to.
it's a give and a take. You can apply that to any line on this.
Well, yeah, you could say I get to American Dreams. I get to go to the grocery store, buy whatever I want. Okay,
not
well
whatever
then
you-
your car gets $200.
you can buy
I
the
don't
name
get-
brand ice cream,
I
but
don't
guess
get to
what?
go
Then you're
buy-
eating Totino's pizza.
I don't get to go buy
mean-
steaks for every night or like I keep it within reason. Like,
But
you're-
that's the give and take, right? So
Yeah.
you can get the better peanut butter, but that means you don't get the steak. That's just all there is to it.
Sure.
Or-
Yeah.
But it's like maybe I get to have steak once a month.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And,
It's not,
and I,
sure,
and I was
sure.
able
Yeah,
to
right.
get that half a
Yeah.
I
steak,
get steak.
because I bought the cheaper peanut butter or whatever it is.
And I can afford a steak.
I get the Kraft singles instead of the, his wife is my daughter, so I hear about this. So we used to buy the Kraft singles. Now we get the deli counter cheese, and she's like, "We never got this growing up." It's like, well,
Yeah, because
that's what we could afford, and
you
you
were
guys
here to
ate.
eat it. We got one less kid. Our budget's better.
Our budget's better, and I mean, but that was the deal. Yes, the deli counter cheese is better. It's better for you. The Kraft singles, they worked just fine. They melt great in a. So
Real
so would we have preferred to buy Sargento cheese? Yes.
Yeah.
Was it in the budget? No. And that's the plain and simple of it. Cold cut bologna is cheaper than deli counter roast beef. Everybody likes it. I mean, the roast beef at the deli counter. Come on,
Pretty good.
right?
Pretty good.
Right? But we're not spending when you've got a teenager, our oldest, I don't even know if it would have made it to the fridge. That was $14 worth of roast beef, right?
Picking through the
it's
bags
just
already as you
gone.
put them down.
Just gone. Right? but you buy that fat stack of ring bologna.
You only eat 2 slices, and then he's going to a friend's house to eat their food.
Well, that's fair.
That's how you cut down
But
this
but
budget.
so I mean, but there is some of that, and if we're
Yeah.
talking about, I understand that the American dream is having it all, but is it? It's
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
No, yeah,
I like
'cause I mean-
like your assessment. Yeah.
I was going to say to that point, you can have all the toys, you can have all the nice stuff, you can have everything, and I run into this. I get the opportunity to travel all over the place. I get to do all this crazy stuff that most people my age wouldn't, but I don't remember the first year of Declan's life.
Sure.
I am not home. There is no matter what.
There's a cost.
Whether it's budgeting
Yep.
or your lifestyle, you will give and take somewhere.
Yeah.
all right. So $1,000 for groceries, and if anybody's keeping track, I don't have these numbers on there, but I'm sure Ben will tell us how much in debt we are at the end of the month.
So next up is medical. So I had $800 a month there for medical.
Went up about 3 to 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the family, for those that are just thinking about starting a family, insurance doesn't care if there's 2 of you or 10 of you. Family insurance is roughly the same. Now, once we start having a family, we're probably looking at getting away from that
better
HSA, a little bit better insurance.
For sure.
Well, because kids.
Kids break.
First, they break themselves all the time.
They
They're
go
Right.
to the doctor
always
all the
sick.
time.
Right, they're
Elizabeth-
sick. They got ear infections.
Elizabeth's
It is
taking me to the
constant.
doctor
And you
a fair
have to
bit.
take them in. You can't just
Yes.
go,
you're
man, maybe they'll
Yeah,
get
just
better."
toughen up.
No. Hey, in 1800s, they just said, well, this one might die if this happens. We just have another kid. It's all right. That's why we got died. It's all right.
So for yourself, when you're sick, you can try and power through it, and usually you can. When your kid's sick, you got to take them in.
Yeah.
There's just no getting around it.
Right.
So it's expensive.
Right, and there's even just like, glasses. Like both my kids have glasses, and it's like they're 5 now, just turned 5 a week ago, and 6.5. Those things have gotten lost 3 times. They've gotten broken. A 5-year-old is not responsible with its $200 pair of prescription glasses.
Zenni Optical. They're not a sponsor. I love them. They're Bo wears glasses, and he's got crazy prescription. They're $21, and it takes 2 weeks to get them in. You got to go to the optometrist. The optometrist is going to cost you $40 to tell you what the script is.
Yep.
You go out to Zenni, and they will ship them to you just as fast as a local will. Because if you go in to pick one, it's going to take about a week or two for you. So, if you've got kids with glasses, look at Zenni. They've got insurance. They're cheap. Sometimes we'll buy an extra set just because we know that's going to happen. Seriously.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep the frames. Anyway, Zenni Optical. There's a plug. You can promote us if you want. We'll put you
Right.
All right. So medical. I think we can probably agree on that. And again, hopefully you work for some place. Most places, the
800.
The employees' insurance is usually pretty cheap, and then the employer doesn't like to cover much of the family.
Especially,
for sure.
I'm covering a 25-year-old male that's likelihood to go to the doctor even when his finger's dangling is low.
Oh, yeah.
Great. I love that. You want me to cover his wife and children? No, I'm sorry, man. It's just not working. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
Well, if we run to the next thing is auto insurance. I went to 200 on that.
Are we running 2 cars in this scenario? Probably.
I imagine so.
Yeah. So if the mom is at home, probably gonna have 2 cars. Just given, again, if we're talking about the metro, you can't really get anywhere.
I've seen it done with one. It's not great. I've got wives dropping off husbands and stuff like that. It's doable, especially in a pinch. Again, don't go out and get that loan just because you had a breakdown. If you've got to stretch a couple months of everybody pack up into the car, we're taking dad to work.
Yeah,
do it. I mean,
that's
it
the other
sucks.
thing.
It's kind of embarrassing.
You don't need $40,000 worth of vehicles or $80,000 worth of vehicles or $120,000 worth of vehicles. You can have your main vehicle that, like, hey, we're going to take this on family vacation.
Right.
We're going to do all that. And,
the
that's
other one's going all the way to work, right?
The $10,000 car, your wife can have a
anyway, bye to dad.
Well, I mean, early 2000 Chevy Impala, I was just looking at it with my younger brother, $2-3 grand.
Yeah.
That car, they run freaking forever. You're going to be totally fine with it. That is a car that could stay, or you could take that to work and she's got the bigger car, whatever that looks like in your family.
And there is public transportation.
It's not great around here.
Is it
It's
not?
not.
I mean,
No, it's
I see the buses all over the place. I have to assume somebody's riding on the thing.
Yeah.
Not the American dream people, Luke. They don't ride public
That's fair.
transportation.
That's fair.
So I had
get weird.
So for transportation, I had $1,350. It's
That's
about
taking
double.
us up from we were in between that $500 and $600 range.
Yeah, it's a little bit over double. Again.
Okay, so I was at $1,300 if you had my insurance and transportation.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna argue that number because usually your insurance and stuff goes down a little bit. So there'll be 2 things. One, the car that is staying at home generally isn't going to get the mileage that the other one does. Shouldn't be. If we're a stay-at-home parent, we shouldn't be out driving all day long. Now, we might be heading to daycare. We might be heading to the library. We might have 1 or 2 outings. Obviously, there's one vehicle that's going grocery shopping, but there was one vehicle that was going grocery shopping before. And we need to get that, we need to get that tightened up. We're not going into town now. Ben, it's nice for you because you're only a couple blocks away. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm 20 miles away. For Elisha, he's half an hour away, right?
Yeah.
15 miles a gallon, 76 cents a mile on the clock. Every time you go.
Oh yeah, we know it costs us. It's like I think I did the math. We were talking about this earlier when you're talking about taking clothes back to like Plato's Closet and get money.
Yeah.
Yeah, great deal until you live where I live, and it's $14 to get to Plato's
All
Closet.
right, I'm turning to the camera again. Everybody out there, figure out what it costs to go somewhere. It seems like a pittance for us to take your pick. I mean, my truck gets 16 miles a gallon. My wife's car gets 25. Okay, so if we're going into town, it's about a 25 mile an hour round trip. It just costs $5 plus maintenance to go into town or not. Oh, forgot something. Heading back in. That's coming right out of the top of the line, right?
Right.
It costs money to go places. So figure it out, tighten it up, and don't just be out dinking around.
Yeah.
If you're short on cash, if you've got money to burn,
That one.
then whatever. But you know the days of the what back in the day it was scoop and loop, right? You just drove around in circles.
Yeah, no. Diesel's $5. We aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
It's not needed.
Right.
Scoop the loop.
No joyriding.
Well,
All right, so I've got to say
like 20
we
grand
need to
on
take that
diesel.
number down. If we were okay with $500 to $600 a month for one car, I've got to say it's probably closer to, because your insurance goes down on that second car considerably generally. So I've got to say that number should probably be closer to $1,000. You know, now you might be in a little nicer car for Mama's car because you really don't want her breaking down in the middle of the day because then stuff really goes sideways.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, it really kind of depends because it's like if your kids are preschool, then you know you're hauling them around everywhere.
sure.
You take them to the park, like you said, and then if they've got any sort of extracurricular, especially like where you guys live, you know, it's like, well, I got to go take them to soccer
Right.
and back, or I got, you know, and at least my kids are very much inactive, I guess, at this point, and they're still involved in like, you know, a
Right.
few trips
yeah.
a week,
Oh, yeah.
right?
No,
and,
I mean,
and
it
so
very-
that stuff like really adds
Nowadays,
up.
the stay-at-home parent being only at home is not.
No, it's
probably
not a
gonna
thing.
happen. But we sit here and I think about it. Elizabeth probably goes to town 3 to 4 times a week.
Mhm.
And so I just ran that number. So it's 20 miles for me to get anywhere.
Mhm.
It's $11.33 for her to leave and go somewhere and come back. I mean, that's
Right.
every time. So that's $50 for us right there. Granted, you know, we're not-
week.
A week?
a week, every week. So there's just different. But for Ben, it's probably $11 all week, or you know, it's probably
But now
$11.
some of this, and again, does it fit into that American dream? These are choices we make,
Yeah.
right? To enroll the kids in whatever the program that is, to take them to the park the next town over versus playing in the backyard versus the park that we can walk to.
Yeah.
These are choices we make.
Yeah.
If it's in your budget, you have my blessing. But
Yeah,
I'm
I mean-
not going to
Yeah.
sit here and play the game that we have to spend $200 a month in gas so that we can go to that nice park.
Oh, I was
two
gonna
ti-
say,
two
I
towns
remember
over, right?
like it was like a big deal. My mom, I think it was like once a month or every other week or something, we'd go to like some park around the state. But she packed our lunch. She brought it. It was
Oh,
like a whole
absolutely.
day thing to
Yeah.
take these kids. Like went to one that had like this massive slide down Des Moines. That was like mini vacation stuff. But it was like, oh yeah, but oh well. I remember being like, well, can I go to this person's house or can I do this? No. Why? Well, we're going to the park on Wednesday. And I remember thinking about it,
Like,
what does
what's
that
that got
matter?
to
What
do
does
with
that have to do with
anything?
doing this?
Right.
But it was a numbers thing.
Sorry, I'm doing some math here. So again, this weekend we had our little family vacation. We went to the zoo. Got crazy expensive. Thanks, Dad. By the way, yeah, he picked that one up. He didn't tell any of us, but anyway, he picked up that. You know, thanks kids for coming and seeing us.
Yeah.
So, but all of us that were there, and I don't know, it was 15 or 20 of us that went in, and we packed our lunch. We had a cooler with lunch meat and cheese. We had 3 or 4 loaves of bread. You know, piles of fruit snacks and peanut butter and jelly. And when it was time, we found a spot and we sat down and the
So
kids.
they look like 25 homeless people eating outside the parking lot.
No, not in the parking lot. The zoo doesn't care.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah,
you pull right up in front of where they're selling iced coffees and $20 hot dogs, and you're slathering on the peanut butter and
So you dragged a cooler around the whole time you're in there?
well with the little kids, you got the wagons.
Yeah. Yep.
So we had 2 wagons we were carrying around, and yeah, your kids, my grandsons, were jumping in and out of the wagons all day long, right? The littles were riding in the wagons, they're sitting on the loaves of bread, and No, we did pretty good.
Well, and-
but you know, that was part of it, and there was nobody that was unhappy with.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing if we were doing a road trip. Yeah, we'd throw the cooler in the back, and after driving 4 hours, it's like there's a nice spot to pull over. You pull over, you
Yep,
I'd
that's
say
what my parents did.
Even for like something like that where it's like pack your lunch and then you said like, hey, get in the car, we got to take Dad home. That's also like a family thing. So like if you do like want to like you prioritize your family, and you know, like some people morals shift where it's like I'm going to work insane hours so I can provide for my family financially. Some people are like we're going to slide by so I can be with you guys all hours of the day. And if it's something where you're working all the day, it's like that ride with your kids actually might mean something more
Right.
to
Absolutely.
them. more
I mean,
than you
I
could
didn't
ever
see my
imagine.
dad a lot, but he took us to school every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get that. Well, we lived out in the country for a majority of the time. I was a kid, and it was, you know, that 15-minute ride into school. That's pretty much it. That's when you saw Dad. So yeah, it does makes a difference. But I mean, yeah, I've been on road trips with you. You're like, you guys were like, all right, we're gonna stop at this Walmart and do this. I was like, okay, I beat him there.
Yeah,
Let's-
that's a sight. I
Go
tell you
on
what,
vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ripping through that rotisserie chicken out in the
Yeah.
parking
Yeah,
lot.
and I went inside, bought a rotisserie chicken. I come out, they're making sandwiches. Like, what are we doing?
Every time I buy a rotisserie, both legs are gone by the time I'm home.
Absolutely.
It's in the front
Absolutely.
seat. Oh yeah.
But those are memories, and
Yeah.
and for those young families that are starting out, the kids do remember that. You know, would,
Oh,
would,
yeah.
they remember zipping through McDonald's or Subway and
Well, that's what I
grabbing
say.
a foot long through there? No, and that's like $100 bill for a family.
I
these days.
remember that was, what, last year, 2 years ago? I have horrible memory. I remember that. But how many times I've been to McDonald's? 400 times in a year? Like, I don't remember any of them.
Oh yeah. You know, like last episode when we were all together, you know, I was talking about the Jacks or the Totino's pizzas. Like that's what I remember is like those $2 pizzas because they were sacred.
Because
you
it was
know?
movie night. or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
And it tasted good. I mean, I don't know what they were doing
Cardboard.
with those pizzas back then.
Yeah.
They were
Way
just. It's
Yeah,
all,
and those are the memories growing up. You know,
Yeah.
going to back in the day was Blockbuster Video. Once every couple months, you got to go in, and maybe you had a couple buddies that were coming over for the weekend or whatever, but you got to go in and rent the movie, and you get a couple of Totino's pizzas, and
Yep.
that was a very small cost, but it was big.
it was
you
an
know,
event.
But that's also like where you can put that into your like leisure.
entertainment
Your
budget.
leisure
Absolutely,
entertainment.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
You know, and
We-
what
we
do you,
love-
what
we
do you
have
want to
family
spend that
movie night.
entertainment on? Do you
Yeah.
want to spend that on, you know, one rock concert, or do you want to spend that
Yeah.
on, you know, family movie night every single
or
weekend?
vacation.
Well, where you're buying the popcorn that wouldn't necessarily
I was
be
gonna
in
say
the
that's what
food
my
budget.
parents
Or,
would do. That it's like,
be
well,
pop.
let's not all go to the movie theater and spend a buttload of money on all your tickets, candy, all that. How about we just make popcorn at home? Go to the gas station, get some candy. Actually, we go to Walmart in the center of the aisle. They got the cheap
Oh yeah,
movies.
yeah.
We were going in there and we'd pick a cheap movie.
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
for
then
like
we
Yeah.
go over-
$2, a buck.
Right next,
Yeah, whatever you movie
the
guys
Milk
wanna see,
Duds. Yeah, you have all the
$2.
Milk Duds, Junior Mints, all there. Everybody gets a box of candy, and then we go home.
It's
Mom
like
makes
$7,
popcorn.
$8 right
Gather
there.
up in
Like-
the living room and make an event out of it.
Versus
Yeah, you
spending
didn't $70 bucks to
That-
take the
what?
family into.
$9 for a movie ticket.
Oh, no, it's more than that.
10,
Oh, for sure.
11?
And
No,
then
movies are like $7, but that's not where they get you. They get you with the popcorn.
I was going to say, that was $10 a
popcorn.
ticket.
No, well,
No,
it-
You're
it-
just looking at, I mean,
It
it's,
depends on the movie theater. If you're going to some big name movie theater, it's gonna be quite a bit. There's some small.
I know. I'm seeing a lot of clips of what's the movie out right now? Troy or
oh my
yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Odysseus. Yeah.
but
But the Odyssey.
Odyssey.
the Odyssey, but they've got it in one of the 4DX movies, and it's like $30 a ticket, and they're just like throwing water and smells at you. And, oh, it's
Yes,
it's
I
a riot.
definitely
and
want
yeah,
to smell
that's
nasty Rome 2,000
You're
years
sitting in
ago.
the horses, smelling
Yeah.
onions.
Puts you in the Trojan horse.
Yeah, awesome. It's just-
Yeah.
No, I mean, but that's the thing. I remember going to the dollar theater. Like, that
Yes,
was a big,
that
if
was-
we
Oh,
went
yeah,
to the movie
yeah.
theater,
Oh, yeah,
it
we-
was
we-
only the dollar
Yep.
theater.
Right. I mean, we used
hit
to.
those matinees.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to go to my stepmom's apartment, and there was a drive-in theater, still one of those, next to it. And we didn't even have to pay. We would just sit in the parking lot, turn the radio on, and like watch it, from a 45-degree angle, but we could see it. It was great.
That is nice. Yeah. But it's small things like like that where you can cut on your leisure, where you can be creative.
Well, it's
And
about
and if you care about
choices.
your family time, you can. I mean, some people don't like this, but like if you are really busy, like and you go off a calendar, kind of. Some people put like family time in their calendar, and people look down on it. But it's like, no, this is my dedicated 2 hours.
No, it doesn't
Where
matter.
like I have my family time, and it's like, hey, I'm not touching my phone from 5:30 to 7 or something. I'm
Well,
spending that
and-
with my family.
Yeah,
and
and
dinner.
as a business owner, that gets hard. I mean, I get that. We get fires putting out, right? It's the
Yeah.
middle of conversation with Elizabeth this morning, and one of our clients starts calling us and just like 4 times in a row, and you're like, all right, you know, our price, and stuff like that. It gets hard, but I mean, we've kind of caught flack from people who are like, oh, like we can't believe you guys do date night, and it's like, well, if we don't schedule that we're gonna go do that, it won't get done. I'll just not see her for 2 weeks. That's just but like, yeah, I mean try and schedule the important stuff, you know. But again, that's all
And
flex.
they're your budgeting time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then
So-
you're budgeting time, but everything comes down to planning. I mean, this is all planning. It's financial planning and time planning. and-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we left off around vehicle, and yeah,
What did you guys say for
figuring that out. You know,
What would you guys?
I think he was closer to 1,000. That seems reasonable.
I
you know, to me.
1,000, 1,100.
Yeah.
Double it pretty much from
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next on the list?
utilities. We haven't done utilities.
No, we were. I mean, well, I guess I don't know if we hit that or not. But
I mean, utilities ought to be about the same in the same house. I mean, you're
if
not-
if we've got young kids, they probably
Maybe a little-
haven't
Maybe,
gone up that
yeah.
much.
I
Yeah,
said
right.
250 for
I mean,
last
what are they-
time.
But we've got two grown adults living in the house, so
Right.
so maybe our water bill goes up a little bit, but it shouldn't. Now we've got a lot more laundry going on.
Yeah. I guess I've got it rose about 50%.
Oh, that much
For me.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got.
I'm
you got
willing
second
to,
shower.
I'm willing to roll
You
with
got more
Ben's numbers
gas.
and just see where he gets it.
Baths.
Yeah, right. You got your kids' baths, like
Yeah.
well, and then again, it depends on
Actually,
the age. Like when I was a teenager,
change the bathroom.
Hold on.
Couple-
You're
cap full of bleach
using,
and
you're
run it
using
again.
more
Wanna go
shower,
swimming?
more water in your shower usually than a bath.
yeah, for sure.
I've heard that.
No,
Yeah.
you are. Like you look at the
Now,
pressures.
if I was to go in the shower and not
Hose
sit
off and
underneath
get
the
out.
hot water,
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Could I
I'm
be
in
in
there.
and out?
News.
Oh, yeah.
I've negotiated our biggest contract ever in the shower. I'm in there watching the news, going through my emails. I mean, it's warm. I love
Yeah.
it in there.
Yeah.
So, but if I wasn't doing that, yeah, I could be out like 2 minutes. It's a lot less water.
yeah.
At 5 gallons a minute or whatever the water pressure is.
Put a tankless water heater.
And for everybody, shower at least once a day.
Please.
yeah.
You know,
Yes.
yeah. Hey, here's a soft skill. As long as we're talking about showering in too long of showers, 3 to 5 minutes. Everybody out there that's entering the workforce, and I don't care, not even entering the workforce. Before that, every day. If you're listening to this podcast, you are now old enough. Shower every day.
Honestly,
shower
we
every
literally-
day. Deodorant every day, and I don't care if it's the natural stuff that doesn't have any scent in it. If you want to go that route,
Get
that's
some
fine.
sand. We'll sell it to you.
Not sand.
I just saw a
Plug
commercial
another
about
company's
that.
in
No, it's a baking powder. Probably be. I'm not into the country lifestyle, but shower every day. You got to
Yes.
take care of yourself because you're not going to last long wherever you're at if you're not. And
It's 108 degrees outside right now. You need to take a shower.
we're into the age where people for some reason need to be told that, and I don't care who you are. Somebody for some of these people, nobody has told them.
We just
You got-
had
you gotta
we
brush your
literally
teeth.
just had a conversation
You have
with
to
a guy.
brush your teeth every single morning, minimum.
Yep.
Twice a day, 3 times a day, realistically, but
Take-
nobody does
Well, in
that.
the end,
I mean, believe it or not,
take care of yourself.
right? I
Yes,
mean,
it's
those things are
personal.
preventative. We brought that up a little bit ago. Is like, hey, if you take care of your teeth, like, what do you know? Your dental bills go down. Like all of these
Well, if
things.
you take care of yourself, I mean,
Right.
I'm a horrible example because I eat McDonald's literally every single day. But
You're well preserved.
I like to think the mac sauce is keeping the flu and things away, but
Could be.
but for the most people, eating better, taking care of yourself, some sort of physical activity is so beneficial. So like you should be able to do, let's say 25 push-ups in the morning, 25 at night. If you were able to do that as just an average age guy, you should be able to do that. Even if it takes you 5 sets of 5, It costs you 0 gym equipment, costs you 3 minutes of your day, and your life is going to be better. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. Get showered.
I love how
Get clean
people always
clothes.
like, oh man, I'm getting old. Man, I'm getting sore. Man, when I was young, I could do this, that. And it's like, well, that's why, because you were doing this, that, and everything. Now you're not doing that. So if you're not being active, I mean, obviously you're getting older, so it's gonna ache. And
I was going to tell him, I started
Why
noticing.
does everybody keep looking at me?
Luke,
As you get older, Luke.
I sleep on a couch or my neck wrong. It's 3 days.
Try sneezing wrong, man.
I told him,
Ruin your week.
I've started noticing my kneecap exists. That's like a new thing this year. That's like,
Oh yeah, you'll just start discovering
and
all sorts
but
of things.
I only notice it when it's gonna rain, and I used to make fun of all the old guys for saying that. But it's like, why does my knee exist right now?
The thing is, the
getting
things
kinda
you
cloudy
started
outside.
that you used to ignore, you start paying attention to. You know, and for good reason. You should pay attention to your body, and it's like,
Become more
that's a
self-aware.
weird bump.
Yeah.
So you should pay attention to that stuff. Anyway, bathe regularly. You don't want to be called in the
Be
office
clean,
for
yes.
that conversation. You want to be called in for you've been doing a great job and you deserve a raise. Not people have been mentioning you need to bathe. Okay.
Do we need to get a hose out back?
I remember.
All right, so
we were in school. The teachers brought us in. I think the teacher's like, we're in middle school, guys. We don't need to be having this conversation. Please shower and use deodorant.
All right, now we're having that as
single day.
as 20-year-olds, as 25-year-olds, as 30-year-olds.
My dad was a high school teacher, and he purposely those kids sat in the back. And he says, they don't. It's like a 10-foot radius, and it's.
If you're in, and this is for everybody. I don't care what position you're in, but if you're in the trades, a lot of times you are working with other people, and you're doing this, and you're working very close because hey, hand me that. Nobody wants that. Nobody's going to work with you. Nobody wants to work with you. If nobody's willing to work with you, you're not as valuable as you
To
would
the
be
company,
as
for
a
sure.
player.
And bad breath will turn me away right away.
Right.
Dragon breath. Yeah.
Dragon breath.
Right. All right, we're through that one. What's left on this thing? I mean, so we've
Phone. I went up to 175 because you've got the home internet, the phone.
yeah, you've got a second line. I mean, the home internet didn't change, so you went
Right.
from $100 up to 175. I'd say that's reasonable.
Well,
Yep, that's
and
exactly what I got.
somebody's got a phone payment, whatever they're paying on their Apple
Sure.
Watch or some BS. That's just the way it shook
Mm-hmm.
for me. Still, I didn't have anything in savings and investing at this point. I was going
we
to come
haven't
back
gotten
to that.
down into the kind of the so before I had roughly $350 on just kind of dinking around money, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I've got
that's-
800 in there now.
Okay, so wow.
Got 2 people dinking.
No, you don't have 2 people dinking around because one of them is dinking around at home.
right?
That
well,
person dinking around at home better not be spending as much.
but you've got but I went from 350.
No, that might have been
To-
offensive to somebody, but that's
No, wait.
that's got to be. I've got to say that's part of it. Is that no, maybe not. I mean, so part of my dinking around money while I'm out working is buying lunch or something like that. Now, there's going to be, you know what? I suppose it could be because what I spent on lunch, the person staying at home spent on
Makeup, whatever.
no.
Personal.
That's
I went from 400 to
yeah,
800.
okay. You went from 400 to 800, so 350
So
up
350,
to
750, or 700.
I don't know. I don't have experience with somebody staying home. My spouse has always worked, so her dinking around money
Same as
has always been the same, right? She's
Yeah.
got the same. So I don't know what that looks like for somebody that's staying home. With,
well, okay,
with the
I'll give
kids
you an
in this
example. Elizabeth is constantly out learning new skills. So part of that cost
So this
is
is hobbies.
yeah, this is hot because you're at home all day. You're not. I'm out in the world. She's not. For her to find something new
This
to
is
do.
her sanity.
Right,
Yeah,
her
right.
sanity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets really into crocheting. You've got the infrastructure to support crocheting. When she gets into sewing, you've got a sew sheet. You've got that. You've got the infrastructure for that.
And we could fairly easily say we do that as opposed to daycare because we did not do daycare in this
Right.
scenario,
Yep.
right?
Right. I mean,
unless we are.
no,
No.
but that could also be. I put in my $800. That's that babysitter once a week so that she can go get whatever she like. Whatever.
Well,
it's a
and
doctor's
these are the
appointment.
choices. Do you want to have those hobbies, that take this amount of money, or do you want to knock one of those hobbies down so we have enough?
And we can go out to dinner
we can
together,
go out to dinner.
whatever.
Right.
Those are all choices. I just said in about, $800 is probably what two people would spend. Everybody's different. We spend probably more than that, probably significantly more, I'd guess. But, you and your wife probably don't spend it.
I know people that really like going to restaurants for that experience, and they're okay going to a Ruth's Crisp and spending good freaking grief. It's like $400 if you want.
I can't even imagine. I've never spent that at a restaurant.
You're gonna. In
Not for
30
two
days.
people. Not for two
Yeah.
people. I've never. That is crazy to me.
And up.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean it's absolutely like the slack jawed guffaw. There's no way. And then they start listing off. Well, that this was this much, and that this, and I mean they got there in a hurry.
Octopus.
And I go out to the local steakhouse. And I'm going,
Texas Roadhouse.
There's nothing wrong with Texas Roadhouse.
I like Texas Roadhouse
That is, for the price, that is one of the best steaks you can get ever.
for the price.
For the price.
For the price.
But when we go out and I'm looking at dropping $100, that better be a darn good meal. First off, at my house we do really well in the kitchen, so
Right.
I always have a hard time going out to eat if it's not better than I can do, and that's the reason a lot of people go to the Ruth's Crisp, right? Is it's the experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
when they get it served, it's all this. When you get it served at my house, it comes off the grill, it gets put on a plate, and it gets slid in front of you, and that's it.
But it's phenomenal. But like Elizabeth's a great cook, so for the big thing for us going out to dinner is she didn't have to spend time preparing and doing everything herself to eat that. That's the one.
But she enjoys that.
She likes doing it for the service of other people, but when it comes to hey, that break or that whatever, she doesn't want to have been the one that made it.
That's fair.
And you know what? Also, it's time away from the kids, and I try to have it time away from the business. I don't always get that, but and sometimes we go to, we tend to like better food, so we go to nicer restaurants typically. But when we first started our marriage, it was drive-through McDonald's, and we're eating it in the car or at the park or something.
In the driveway.
Or in the driveway or wherever.
You're in my driveway.
Yeah.
He's got the receipts.
Wherever. And as we've made more money, that budget has gotten bigger. But I would say over the last 2 years, even though our income changed, probably 2 to 3 years, our date night bills haven't changed. Like we've kind of plateaued out on this is about what we're going to spend. So my mom and dad talk about they used to go to the Mexican restaurant and just order like a tea each and eat the chips and salsa. No. And it's like, hey, you bought 2 drinks.
Why didn't they get
It's like,
Oh my gosh.
water?
Sure, the waiters hated her.
Float a little something, give a $10 tip. Oh
so but that's the thing. It can be done. That time can be carved, but what are you willing to give up? At the time when we're building a house and a family and a business, yeah, we aren't giving up $150 a week or whatever to go out and have. By the time you go out to a decent restaurant, you're going to be in it for $65, $70 for the food. That's if you don't get an appetizer. If you end up appetizer and each get a drink, you're probably at a little over $100.
You're north of $100.
And so we figure it's probably $100-something, and then you pay the babysitter, and there's $150.
Which babysitters out there.
You're killing it. Don't even lie. You're killing it. You're sitting on my couch, not doing anything. Either the kid's already been in bed, or all you had to do is put them to bed because we left late.
Free snacks, free internet, free TV.
You're sitting there doing your homework and getting paid. I don't want to hear about it.
$20, $30 an hour.
So I've basically got, I've got all of these kind of rolled up in this other necessities category. So it's, clothing, shoes, kind of what we already went over, laundry, dry cleaning, any sort of thing like that, personal care, deodorant, all that, paper products, furniture.
So where did we land? So we had what was our income again with this scenario? It was
79,000 is before taxes. It's like total.
So our monthly was around $5,000 a month.
6,620.
Yeah.
6,600 net per month to spend. And what was our outflow?
Oh, that's actually like the required income for these expenses.
This expense.
Oh, you're saying that was the expense. So,
yes, right.
We were making.
So if we're making $38.24 an hour, that would just cover these expenses.
Gotcha.
Right.
Nothing left over.
Nothing left. And again, that's no retirement, no college,
So that's
no vacation.
roughly-
Mind if we're talking about a 25-year-old who's got himself in a situation where he's married, she's stay-at-home mom, 2 kids, his 28 an hour won't cut it.
It's not doing it.
Well,
No
okay.
way.
I mean, it's
also-
38 an hour is not cut.
But also,
really.
also
So
keep
you
in
need
mind.
to bring in that second income.
Well, not necessarily. I'm going to make the argument that this 25-year-old individual or who is doing better, because there are guys out there doing better that are be able to cover that 38. Because it's a choice to have that person stay home.
Well, hold on. What are you saying? Are you saying there's 25-year-old that's making more than $38 an hour out there? Is that the
Yeah.
scenario that you're?
Yeah, I mean, I know quite a few of them, but
Are we
They're-
talking about just select guys that that own businesses?
possibly. I'm just
Well,
saying-
yeah, I get
I'm
like
just
that's
saying-
that's not like
I'm
the
saying
median
that-
person.
I'm
Like,
saying
come
it
on.
can be done though.
Yeah.
Well,
But if you
that's, yeah, but like that's not what we're talking about though. Like I know it can be done, but that's not really what we're talking about.
The next discussion, and it's at some point we probably need to wrap this thing up and go into the next for moving forward, because we've
Yeah.
been going for about an hour and a half now.
Okay.
FYI.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess like the last category I had, I just want to kind of bring that up too, is like civic participation. So that'd be like school supplies, toys and books, reading materials, gifts for birthdays. Right? It's like it's your kid's birthday. You got Christmas, Easter, like whatever. All these things that kind of just come up. So that's kind of the last category that I had.
And that's included in that roughly.
Yeah, that's
6,600?
included in that 79. Yep.
In that 79.
79,000.
Okay.
Yep.
$6,600 roughly take home per month.
Yep.
Now, where you come up with that money is up to you. I mean, and that's part of that discussion,
I mean,
right?
that's where
So whether
the-
that's making $38 an hour working 40, or that's 30 hours and $30 an hour working 50,
so
Yep.
or that's I stay home with the kids over the weekend and you
she
go to
gets a
work over the
part-time
weekend.
job or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean,
Whatever
that's
that
what I'm
looks
saying.
like.
To get to that $70,000, I mean, I have family members that are doing it. I know people are doing it, and they're combinations. I mean, some of them, the guy is making all the money, and some of them, he's making part of it, and she's supplementing. Some of it he's making his normal job and doing a side hustle. There's a lot of ways that you can get. So I think we've broke it down to $38 an hour, but I'd like to get it back to that like 75, 85,000 a year is achievable by one person.
Well, and the real exercise here was the single income,
Yep.
nuclear family, living the American dream, right?
Yep.
It's like 80 grand.
Well, but
Well,
it still comes down to what are you willing to give up, because you've got to make that argument that maybe that I don't know, the American dream is so different for different people, right? And if you're looking for that retirement money, maybe you're not looking at going out 4 times a month. Maybe your date night is once a week. You make a nice dinner at home after the kids are in bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what your date night
Well,
is.
but you can
picnic
move all that
back
stuff
out.
around. I understand move all that stuff around. I'm just saying maybe in our age range it's less likely that we're
Less likely to what?
at this 25 age range, maybe it's less likely that people are making that 75 to 85,000 a year.
You said 25. I'm not saying 25.
I'm saying
I'm saying
an
if
ad-
we're
two
up in
parents
that
and two
range,
kids.
2 parents, 2 kids, I'm saying you're probably
more
in your
30s.
late 20s, early
Yeah.
30s.
Right.
So
Now,
so-
if you are in the scenario where you're at 25 and you've got that family, I pray for you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
it might-
that's
it might
tough.
be
You
tough.
are gonna have to grind
Yeah.
for sure, because you're not at the level in your career that you're making the $38 an hour.
Right.
If you are, great for you.
Absolutely.
And,
Well,
and,
but-
it is attainable.
It can be done, but it's very the likelihood of you achieving that at less that $38 an hour, $40 an hour at 40 hours a week is not very high. You're more likely to be doing your side. You're making your money. Let's say you're making that 2025 that we had earlier at 28, and you're making the rest on a side hustle, or you're doing something. Very rarely is somebody that age going to be able to afford this right off the bat in a career job.
And folks, remember that side hustle, if you do decide to pick it up, that is not free money. That is not extra money that we had outside of our job. That all goes to this thing,
Yeah.
right? It's got to. It's got
Well,
to.
okay,
It's got to.
so-
that end of the year tax return is not big screen TV money. It is not. It is your money. It is your money that you worked all year to get. It is your money that you worked extra hours to get. It is that bonus that somebody hands you for doing a great job. I don't care what it was. That's not, let's go to Vegas this weekend, honey. That is not extra money. Until you've got it all settled down, until you've got it paid off, until you've got the funds in the bank to cover your stuff, there is no such thing as bonus money,
Free
extra
money, whatever.
Free money. I don't care what you want to
Grandma
call
mails
it.
you a check.
Got to make it into your budget.
I was the absolute worst at spending birthday money 3 times because that birthday money was always for something extra, right? So you'd go to the grocery
birthday.
store. Yeah. It's so you get $20 from grandma, right? So I'd go in to Target back in the day and I'd buy a movie with it. Well, I was going to buy that movie anyway, so that doesn't count as my birthday money spend. So I'd go and get a case of beer. Well, I'd probably buy a case of beer anyway. I got to do something really stupid with this $20.
Slot machine.
So I would spend that $20 3 times because it was free money, right? Because I did not have the
You didn't
budget.
put it in.
I didn't put it
It's
in.
discipline.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just quick looking up like what a trades, because I mean realistically a lot of what we do is geared towards the trades. Now some of us are not in the trades, or we like. Well, honestly though, coding and doing that stuff is kind of a trade now. I mean, that's not. You were telling me it's not really college required anymore,
No, certainly
and
not.
so it's falling more towards the trade category, whether people like it or not. But I'm looking that up because if you start at 18,
Okay.
as a
In a career.
as in a trade.
Okay.
Isn't it 4 years and you can go from an apprentice to a journeyman?
Yeah.
So after 4 years, what is one of your journeyman guys making?
Roughly 30% more than non.
Okay, so what is that number? Or what is that number for that industry?
In HVAC, oh geez.
Putting you on the spot.
We're getting, thank you for that. We're cruising real close to 100K.
Okay. All of a sudden, you started at 18, you made that decision to do it. You're 22 years old. You can't afford this life.
Yeah.
So, actually, I do rescind my statement. This is not actually that unattainable. Because I was thinking about that. I was like, no way. But you started, even if you started at 20, you spent 2 years jacking around doing something else. You went to community college, you did whatever, and you hit a trade. In 4 years, now you're that 24, and you've got a family coming, you've got this. You can't afford this.
That 80K, no problem at all.
So
in 4 years, you got to want it. Yeah. I mean, I can't drag you to it.
Yeah, but I guess so we're kind of like shifting the lens though a little bit too. We're saying like, okay, in this very specific instance, like we can make it there, and again, that 80K is zero retirement, which is not a good strategy, right? That is no vacations, that is no college savings, that's no emergency savings, like none of that. So it's not. This is just participating in society without.
Well, but what he's saying though is after 4 years, and now if you start at 18, you're 22 at 4 years. You've still got 3 years before you're even in this, which you're going to make probably some more money, whether it's bonuses or whatever.
Yeah.
That's so. Here, I'm looking.
I can tell you that most of my young guys that are looking at that money, they're not looking at a house; they're looking at a truck.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
believe it.
Ben, right here. This is here in Iowa. 70 to 87,000 a year is what
for what?
For the average guy that's been in for 4 years. So you very quickly can close that gap between that 87 and 100 that you need to have the vacations, the retirement, that stuff. If you're buckled down in your trade, if you're doing that stuff.
We're talking about ages and stuff like that. So, we were comparing to American Dream now versus we were comparing 50 years ago to 1975. We're throwing out ages. Average age of marriage in 1975 is sitting around 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're sitting around 29.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 years. So basically, that American Dream's attainable, but you just gotta wait 7 years now. Is that what we're coming at?
No. I think
because we're talking about a lot more single people buying houses. But before, the way it worked was you dated, you were both renting, you got married, and you found a house. That was just the way of it, right? I mean, here's how it goes. The steps were now we're talking. Now we're talking exclusively. Now we're
but like average
but back then you dated and then you got married, and once you were married, you very quickly found a house. Or
So that's at 22 though, and then we were talking about
Yeah,
25.
but okay. I said 25 because it's good a good middle number, but that still does not throw out your marriage age earlier. We also have less people getting married. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
but I think
it's-
like the comparison is what I'm trying to get at is like you're saying that that American dream is still attainable. Like you can still do that, and it's like but they used to do it at 22.
I just told you
Why
that
am I
Yeah.
doing
you
it
could
at
start.
Yeah.
28?
You could
Yeah.
start at 18, and you would be there making the money you need to cover this budget at 22. That's
Yes.
4 years. You will do it.
that's what we just said.
If you
Well,
have-
if you become a journeyman
I looked it up earlier.
HVAC,
We
yes,
said
right.
It was 56,000,
And
that was at like 25. Let's just stick with that 56,000 a year.
but we're talking
get
about
married. She makes. I mean, if
we're
you're doing
talking
it,
about from the trades perspective. 'Cause that's a
No,
lot of
we're
work.
no, we weren't. We weren't
Marriage
necessarily
doing that.
focused on the trade.
Well, but you said how do you make this afford it? You can do it in almost any of our
Yes,
trades,
please. I
trades
would.
business.
Well,
say,
I mean,
don't work for the trade.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think
we're-
there's past there, but I mean, the trades is a fraction of the occupancy, of the jobs that are out there. I mean, I could achieve that being a software engineer, sure. Like, of course, that's attainable, but what about the manager at Hy-Vee, right, running the store?
He
They're
makes like 80 something.
Okay, hey.
Average
So
age-
I saved this. This just happened to pop up in the last week. I'm a Reddit fanboy. Fine. There was a Des Moines subreddit, and the topic was salary transparency thread. Everybody just start throwing it out. Seriously, this came up just last week, and I saved it. I kind of forgot about it until right now. Everybody just started throwing out what they do and what they make. I'm just going to throw a few of them out there. Computer hardware repair, $50K a year. Let's see here.
so you're underwater. You're underwater 30,000.
I wish we had
Yep.
like.
Electrician, 5 years as a journeyman. He's in between 100 and 115K, and he is running. That happens to be a union. Let's see.
Go
here.
unions,
This
go
is a
unions.
financial analysis. He's been doing it for 10 years. He's at 121K. This guy's in adolescent behavioral health, 65K a year. This is a
Underwater.
maintenance man. 0 years of experience. He's making $37 an hour.
He's getting close.
Getting close.
Right? He just started. Teacher, 55K. God bless you all, teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like again, let's focus in on teachers. Like, how does a teacher make it? How does a teacher?
They-
I have no idea. I'm
work-
not recommending
It's.
any.
I mean, well, again, but like,
No,
it's-
they worked
the-
during the summer. Almost all of them did.
Which that is fair.
Then they
You're not a
coach.
full-time job.
Oh, this one says
not a
master's
full-time job.
teachers, 75K, because they commented on that. Go get your master's if you're young. The ROI will definitely pay for itself.
Sure.
As soon as they get.
Well, yeah. The trick with the masters of teachers though is you gotta get into a school with your bachelor's and then get your master's when you're already at the school
Sure.
because no one wants to pay the extra. But yeah.
But
And I agree with the summer stuff. Everyone else is working all year round. You get your break, take your vacation, take your time.
Take your
but
2 weeks and get back to
at the same time,
Fuel hauler. They drive truck. 120K a year
Yep.
in Des Moines.
hazmat certified. I mean that. There's a
Construction foreman. Been doing 14 years. He's making $50 an hour. So.
I mean,
Th-
there's
this-
certainly
this is
past. There's
just
always
a
past.
Very, I mean, people.
Right. It's
throw it out
anecdotal.
there.
Right. But
Yeah.
that is interesting. But like, I'll just go back to the Iowa workforce development. Fort Polk County is
but
$6,600 a
dragged
month.
by a bunch of adults that work at department stores.
Yeah, but like people have to.
that's-
You have to
that's
buy
the average.
clothes. What do you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but you choose to work
you
retail.
You choose to work there. There's no reason
like
that you're
they're-
working there.
Yeah, but like people have to be working there.
Sure.
Like
No.
adults have to work
Well,
there.
but if
No,
adults didn't
no,
have
they
work,
don't.
younger people. Are,
Yes, they do.
They have jobs that are available.
manage.
There's nothing forcing you to work.
Who's going to work at a department store if adults not working there?
Let's
Well,
let's
I
say
would
nobody. Then what's the choice? Either we raise or
We either
that's
raise the rate.
that's why the trades are paying what they are because
they're in demand.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I understand like the basic economics of it, but like,
someone's
at-
got to manage the place. Someone's got to be the
right,
boss.
like someone's got to be at McDonald's at 9 a.m. to serve Elijah his breakfast.
okay.
Yes.
Like, and
So-
it can't be a kid.
So everybody chooses
Well,
not
not-
to. You know what McDonald's is paying right now?
$17.25 an hour. Is
You know
what it says in
why?
the window.
Because nobody wants to work at McDonald's, and they had to raise what they're paying. No, but it's not because McDonald's is a bad job. I mean, it was.
Well, actually,
it was awful.
I'd
but
say there's a big social stigma on working at McDonald's, but you're making seven.
Yeah, but
17,
McDonald's
25.
has
If you're high
a
school, you're making
path.
17,
I
25
talked to guy. McDonald's has a path. If you stick it out for 2 years, they'll guarantee you $80,000 a year in a management position. 2 years.
Yeah. Well,
But like,
they used to
You
pay
can
for
clear
schooling
this.
and all sorts.
Well,
of
no, that's
Panda
the thing. They
Express,
are
I
doing
think-
that too. They
Panda
have a
Express,
very good.
somewhere I heard
benefits.
it's like you manage a store, it's like 80K. Something like that. But
The point being, there was enough people not taking those jobs that they had to start raising the rates until people wanted
Started
to work.
filling them in.
sure.
So-
Yeah, but
so
still,
it's the
like,
same thing with the retail. Just because there's a $14 an hour job doesn't mean somebody's got to take it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand that, but like,
Now, if you have no skills,
it's beyond just like a simple supply and demand problem though too, because if you're, I mean, let's just go back to our rural example. If you're the only place to work somewhere, that's beyond supply and demand,
one's
right?
tough.
There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of
I
like
think
different
there's less and less
factors.
of that though, because the cost of being out there for that business.
Well, it's
No,
there's
no.
still fixed costs,
no, I mean, when we're talking about your Fairfield example, there's one employer in town.
right?
They get to pick whatever
Well-
whatever they want to pay.
And I think that's, certainly you just look at the demographics of Iowa, like the rural towns are dying and everyone's moving to the cities because of this problem, right? Is that the supply and demand is basically, hey, Casey's is going to pay $14 an hour and you get what you get and that's
If you
it,
want- if you
right?
want to make $28,000 a year, go work at Casey's.
But I mean, that's not, people cannot live on that.
Right.
It's not affordable.
But it's not. It's meant
It's
to
also
be the job that the
choice
wife
to
hits on the
stay.
weekends for the
But
extra
that
money.
that
I
is
would
that
say
is
it's a
that is a
choice to
tough
stay.
choice.
Yeah,
so let's look at Story City as a great example. Okay, Story City is, I don't know, let's call it 5,000 people, right? There's EB out there. They make the
Trailers.
the trailers and stuff. So that's manufacturing. They pay pretty decent. As far as other stuff in town, there's some retail, there's some fast food. I think there's a paper mill. There's jobs in
station.
town.
Sure.
Housing's a little bit cheaper up there. So you can either choose to work in town for those basically 3
3 to 5
Right.
places.
to 5 places, or retail or fast food, or you drive the 20 miles down to Ames. Ames doesn't pay that great. Ames is about 30% less
Well,
than Des Moines.
And that's because they can get the college students when they're not
College
in
kids,
school.
yeah.
They can get them on the side. They can,
Or you drive all the way down to Des Moines.
for an hour.
So now you got an hour trip.
Yeah.
But there's a reason you moved to Story City. And I don't know what that is. Maybe the housing was cheaper. And realistically, I'm sorry, Story City, that was probably a bad choice. You should not have moved to Story City because the housing was 10% cheaper or 15% cheaper. You should have looked at those the job availabilities. And yeah, those small towns that are out in the sticks, they should die if there's.
Well, I mean, I definitely like agree with that
They're not
reality of it,
economically
but
stable. Then we got a town right next door here that can't even pay their sewage bill, and they're getting subsidized by the bigger town next door.
But
Either
like-
that
next
gets
summer
brought up
or
again and
this
again
This
is the
can dig
urban
into
sprawl,
a
right?
Way deeper
I mean, the
issue of just corporate America and capitalism. I mean, that's what kills
No, it's not that. It's
But
it's
every
urban
small
sprawl.
town-
it's the
every
farther
small
out you
town-
get, the
but every
less
small town
opportunity
had-
there is.
Okay,
You don't need to go. You used to be able to, like, you can go to Maxwell, you go to Logsdon's. Is that quicker for you than going to Ankeny, like Ames, like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, small town
Where
grocery
you go.
store. Yeah.
So like every store had their gas station,
Sure.
they had their grocery store, they had their auto shop, they had everything in
That's fair.
town.
Yeah,
Now they don't. That's why people are leaving and going.
but
Well-
they did
but
not
they
provide the service that you could get at the bigger place, right?
Well,
so,
it's
so the
not-
specific one that you're talking
and the price,
about,
right? Like Walmart came in. Like I'll give you an example. Like Walmart came into Anamosa, Iowa, town of 15,000 people. Right, there was a very thriving Main Street. Had a local grocery store, gas station, all of that. Right. Walmart came into the town because they were so massive. They could. I mean, they were loss leading everything.
Right.
Everything they were losing money on until all of that Main Street dead.
Gone.
Right, gone.
and then they jack price.
And then they jacked the prices up, and like that's a proven strategy. They did that thousands of towns across, right? And so it's not just that supply and demand that's done
So
that.
now the
It's-
problem is the only place you can work is at Walmart.
yeah, and then now, well, they're the only place you can work. So
So how long do you
Now-
ride it out before you move to a bigger town where there's more opportunity?
right, yeah, and so these folks are trapped there. We talked a little bit about that last episode where it's like it's these Alice guys. It's these 34%.
I'll argue you can plan your way out of Alice. I don't care how much you're making. You can blow leaves for people. You can do things that take more time to get.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
There's no money in that town. Nobody's going to pay you $20 to come blow their leaves.
Right. They don't care about their leaves.
You want to blow leaves in Huxley? Yeah, you might have a market. You want to blow leaves in Des Moines, where there's hundreds of other people that are.
No. It's the other way.
But there's just so many people, and that's why inner cities it's like I can't get a job. Like, and I have buddies that live in suburbs of Chicago, and it's like he went to college. He's on summer, and he just wants to work at a restaurant. He just needs to make money. He just needs to work absolutely anywhere. Not taking him. Because there's so many people that are filling those jobs. We in Ames, we're used to seeing open.
Yeah, I don't buy that. In the bigger metropolises, there's way too much.
You're selling.
Hiring
You have a selling yourself problem. We have a shortage.
What we're talking about.
Kids have to go work at those retail stores.
Good for them. They're students.
You just
still.
said, yeah.
We're talking about a 25-year-old adult with a wife and children. You should not be working at retail. You have.
But that's the only option. That's the only option in Anamosa, Iowa.
I'd say get in the trades.
I would say get in the trades then.
If you're working,
you can't leave because you're.
But if you are in the metro,
yeah,
yes, you can.
Sure.
You have
transportation. You have more opportunity. Yes.
So take out the metro.
For you there.
I talked to a foundry owner over in Illinois that they are paying people entire moving cost to sign 1-year work deals with them, and they starting pay is $38 an hour.
Oh yeah, there is that out there.
And
yeah, I agree.
So it's like
I know.
Okay, I just looked up this quick stat. Bureau of Labor Statistics for state of Iowa. There is 50,000 open jobs right now in the state of Iowa.
Sure.
What percentage of those
Some of those are working at Casey's.
Some of those are working at Casey's. Some of those are working at Walmart. Some of those are working at, Fairway. But there's a fair bit of those that are the places like you work, the places like White's, like Turner, like Baker Group, like these companies that are trades companies that are hundreds of employees short.
So I guess help from your perspective, I want to go back to that, like Anamosa, Iowa. Like what?
How do you pull yourself up?
How do you pull yourself out of there? And like, what does that person do? Okay. What do they do today? Because they have no, I'm going to set the stage. They have no money.
They have no money in the bank.
They have no money. They have no money.
Correct. They are 25 years old.
Yep.
They maybe went to they at this point they graduated high school and they went to work for somebody in town, whether that was manufacturing plant that went away.
Like say
and I hate painting that scenario. Yeah. That there was some place that closed down and now
it's very common though.
It is common, and I cannot imagine being in that scenario where you're just hoping that next best thing is coming around. How long do you wait and you're just watching it tick down, tick down until?
Well, you got kids, right? Or in your scenario, it's a single person, but like any sort of extra scenario on that really complicates it.
I take that, and you're making, let's say, what?
17 an hour.
17 an hour? So
maybe.
Because
you're
cost
making
of living was
$35,000,
low, right?
Yeah.
Cost of living was low.
Are you living at home with your parents?
Maybe. You are probably in this scenario renting a place, and that place is $400 or $500 a month.
Cheap, yeah. Sure.
Right? Because you're in a
you're
lower
in somebody's
rent.
Upstairs attic of their garage.
No, not necessarily. You're in a house because housing is also cheap.
Fair.
Yeah.
Everything is very inexpensive. Your next bump up is maybe Des Moines or that Story City, but we are talking kind of about that.
So you go to that cheap person, that person that's only $6,000 a year to live. They're making $36,000 a year. That's 1/6 of their income still going to housing. Okay,
and that is where full circle, and I know, Ben, that your
I think
your growing up was this. But our argument, of course, in this whole thing is if the budgeting was there, that hopefully we scrimped and we saved for that rainy day to where this all falls down and we've got to move to, Story City.
I mean, I agree with you. I want it to be that way. I definitely do.
You can.
But grandma and grandma who are not willing to move, who's taking care of them?
Yeah, and so that's like where all these is not just like this black and white, oh, you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like it is not that. Like that is not the experience. I'm sorry, I just
Can
disagree.
you cut a good percentage out doing that? Of telling people that, okay, you need to
Yeah,
tighten
sorry.
your budget and you need to come to the realization that you're
Okay,
Dude,
so
it's- you're
who
making-
this conversation
This
is really for is not that person. We are before we get to that. We are before we have settled in, gotten our roots in. Now I know that grandma and grandpa lived down the road and mom and dad, gave me the place above the barn to live and all that stuff. And that's great. But these are for those people that are just starting out.
Yeah. It's not
For the
trust fund
love
babies.
of God,
Yeah.
don't
That's
get tied in to that life.
Yeah, and
Go out and find it.
I'll make the argument. You left home,
I did. Now I left home for experience with all
and
plans of going back home. That was the plan. That was
Sure.
My plan was not to get out of cheap living in Glenwood and go and find my boon in Des Moines, Iowa. That was not what it was.
Yeah.
The plan was to find better experiences to take back home. With that being said, there's nothing to say there. The whole point is we are trying to talk to the kids that are the 25-year-old and they're looking to buy that house.
Well,
I'm
even-
telling you, and I hate it, small
Hold on.
towns. The opportunity is not necessarily there unless
it's disappeared. Yeah,
unless you want to get into the top 3 trades, because everybody in that town needs that guy.
Yeah.
He needs that guy, and unfortunately, they don't have any money to pay that guy.
yeah,
So,
right.
Hey,
It's-
I'm willing to give
It's
you
a
destructive cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that part.
Well,
does suck.
okay.
Like,
So-
also like my grandpa was electrician plumber, but he's the electrician plumber of the town, and it's like back then. Now it's you call how many corporate companies are
They're
doing
willing to make the
residential
trip.
stuff. And then but like back then it was, hey, you need to call your carpenter or the local
We'll go an
carpenter,
hour
you
and a
need to
half
call
out
the
of
local
town.
plumber.
We
Like,
we got no problem coming
everything-
after your uncle. He was doing it for $35 an hour. We will come to your town.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I'm not arguing that. My point is for the 18-year-old that's looking at graduating high school, mom and dad don't have the means for him to stick around, and he's looking at what he can do. Those top 3 trades will get you out of those problems.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't like it, that's tough. As a father and a husband, if it came down to my choices are stay here where we have grandparents around, we have all this stuff around,
I'll
and
come up with first and last month's rent at $1,000.
and get rid of or
Yeah, right. And then that's like where
I'll move to,
the availability is
Arkansas.
part of the affordability like problem, right? Is like how do you get that $2,000 when you're making $17 an hour and you can just barely even in a small town, there's still
Plant
there's
just laid 30% of us off.
right, yeah, then there's how do you pull yourself out? And like the answer is a lot of these folks just can't. And so and you're also assuming that this 18-year-old is making all of the best decisions, right? They're budgeting,
yeah.
they're doing all this stuff, but the reality is like people make mistakes, people have things come up, and that is everyone's life. Everyone in this room has made plenty of mistakes in their life, and
Well,
if how does someone who's 25 and has made mistakes from 18 to 25 speak to that person? How do they get out of this now?
Well,
Because
yeah.
that is everybody. That is everybody. No one's making this perfectly calculated decision.
Well, I would say you have to start sitting down and making calculated decisions. The only way
Sure.
to get out of it is
Sure, right.
No,
sit
no,
down
I
and
agree.
doing
Absolutely
it.
right.
Okay.
I agree.
What have
So-
I been doing these last
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah, I
The
agree.
definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again to explain.
It's actually
expecting a
not,
different
but
result.
that is a common misnomer. So it is easy to stumble into these problems. It is impossible to stumble out.
Oh, yeah,
I'd agree with that. I really
mean,
like that.
I
I'm gonna
saw
I'm gonna
a
make
guy-
sure that's in the clip.
I saw a guy today talking about all these people that have done very well want to tell you that it's the pull yourself up by your bootstraps and the hard work, and they don't want to tell you they got lucky, but there is a lot of luck that holds. I mean, me and Blake were talking about it. In my family situation alone, okay, we're having a kid in high school, we're not married, neither one of us have any kind of career. The likelihood that turns out for the average person in the United States is almost zero. They are going to either have a problem relationshiply, they're going to have a financial problem, they're going to have something go on. And we saw several other people that had the same situation that we went to high school with or shortly after high school that are buried. And they are financially cooked. They are done. I mean,
let alone be together.
Yes, yeah, and so
together.
So is there no dream for them? Is there no American dream possible anymore?
Again, they have to get very serious
I do believe
about
this.
buckle down and start making
But
calculated
you see mistakes happen again and again with
as
those
I say,
people.
So
Right.
Ben brought up mistakes. You make mistakes, yes,
Everyone
but
does.
then you have to be the grown adult to deal with them.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
so like yours, you made a mistake, but guess what? You stepped up to the plate and went above and beyond.
And
Well, I
mean,
guess
there's so many factors that, like, parents. I just assume, like, in my head, that was the only really decision. My parents, like,
yeah.
But everybody wants that safety net, and it's legitimate, right? So let's take your Anamosa example, right? So I graduate and I can get this job at $17 an hour. Perfect. Boom, boom, boom. And I can either live with my parents and now I've got free rent and I got some beer money on the weekends. I got my truck payments. We're all good. Or I can move into the, I don't know, apartment or I can rent that house from the uncle down the road and the payments are pretty cheap. I'm still making it, right? Or I can cut all that. There's no more walking in for dinner on Wednesday night because I'm going to the big city an hour and a half down the road where they pay double. But rent's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I can do it. And I know, guys, we keep saying it. The budget. Start putting the pencil to paper and see what it's going to take.
I think there's good patterns and behaviors
also,
that people can take, for sure.
Okay, I will go back to a little bit of the school's fault. All we got told, all you got told, all you got told. Go to college, go to college, go to college. If our education system's not telling you, you can, in 4 years from graduating, you can be making 80 to 100 grand a year. If they're not telling you that the trades are an option, that you don't
without any debt,
and got paid the whole time. If they're not telling
because
you
the answer is you can do that in 4 years with $200K of debt.
Right. Possibly. There's a lot of folks come out of college and don't make that.
Yeah, but that's not the sell. The sell is you can go in,
Sure.
It doesn't cost you a dime.
Sure, but the sell on the trades is I'll pay you to learn this thing that you're going to learn, and then I will pay you increasingly more every
It's
year.
going to cost you
get
nights
there.
and weekends because you got to go to school after work.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing too, like
Do
you guys
you want it or not? I mean, it's
like staying home, you know, like getting in the trade and stuff. But like also if you are a person that's looking to get out. Like join a trade or something and go travel because
we have
financially, and then like you said about housing, if you don't want a housing cost, go travel.
well, and okay,
they'll pay for some of that stuff, and you get per diem and like your food and stuff. So they'll take that all into account and go travel, get out,
or take some of this out. We had those National Guard guys in our come to class and talk to the kids.
Yep.
They almost had me convinced to join.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
we will have
That's
guests
like a
to
couple
talk
weeks
about
before.
that option.
Sure.
We've talked about going straight into the apprenticeship. We've talked about on the job training. We've talked about union. We have not talked about the military.
I will tell you,
and it is an option.
You get into a problem in Anamosa, Iowa, and the plant's closing or whatever that situation is, and you have no money. Go join the army.
Man,
don't look up anything.
No, I got a cool stat. I don't want to reference something bad, but it's like take it off for a grain of salt. So you're looking at the average 18-year-old throughout the nation here.
Right.
Your chances of survival after 18 years old increases in the Navy and the Air Force
Over what?
over an average kid not joining like the military. or
What?
anything. Yep.
Really?
Get out of here.
We're taking all 18.
What?
We're taking all 18-year-olds.
Get in the comments. Let's verify that.
Well, okay, but
we're taking
Hold on.
somebody's
I am shocked.
babysitting you for the next 4 years. Unless we're at active war.
guaranteed pay. You get guaranteed housing. You get guaranteed food. Guaranteed shelter.
Oh, that is so frightening. What? No.
Bruh.
Somebody help.
Yeah.
Find the stat. I don't doubt it. I mean,
You get
somebody.
guaranteed medical.
I guess like on its face,
I
it
was
does
gonna
kind of
say,
make sense.
Somebody
but-
is paying all your
Now,
bills and babysitting you all the time.
Army Marines. Yeah, it's lower than that. Army Marines are lower.
Oh, that's
Your
interesting.
chances of
What are you gonna
survival
die
are
of?
lower.
Dysentery? You're on an aircraft carrier.
Well, I mean,
Fly land.
depends.
Got
Depends about what we're in, but I now this was take it for a grain of salt. But I read it years ago. There was a whole article about it, and it was
I'd love to
about-
see the stat, but I don't care who you are. They will literally take.
So a lot of
many-
18 to 22-year-olds without babysitters are, a huge risk. And thank you guys for that and insurance rates.
But
We've
that's
been
what I'm
going
saying.
for just north of 2 hours. What
All
do you
right.
think? You want to do?
Probably- I think we're gonna have to. We do have
Where
to
do
revisit.
you want to go with this? For I mean,
We have to revisit the 1975 version, and I actually talked to my dad, who was a teenager during that time. Your dad would probably be a good source as well. I would like to revisit what some of these things, some of the living conditions, some of that stuff, back when that town did have those services and
Sure.
that plant and that. And,
That'd be interesting.
And see what those differences are. So I think we go ahead and kind of shelf today and look at doing another episode and do the same budget, 1975. Go pull those numbers, and we sit down and look, because that should give everyone listening and ourselves a good look at what the differences are.
is it really?
Is it really
has
has it been this difficult, or is it, more amenities that have caused it? Look at maybe what some of those factors are that have changed it. If it
Yeah,
has,
is it as simple as date night used to be? Like I said, we grilled out in the backyard and got a couple of steaks versus
going
going
to spend
to-
$115, $120.
right.
And what is it? Is it
Yeah.
because the car you used to be able to buy was $600 and now it's $6,000 or $10,000?
And it's all percentages.
Yeah.
Everything is
and so
percentages,
we gotta look at that stuff pretty seriously. But I think it'd be great to have somebody in here that lived through there, and knows firsthand what that is, because we've all got our experiences firsthand today. So bringing in somebody that's got that, and then doing a little comparison, because they've lived both, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've seen both. But I will say, earlier you posed the question of what do they do when it's all helpless and everything. Thinking joining the military wouldn't be a bad deal, because a lot of them come out with a certified trade. If they went and spent 4 years in the military, they'd go get plumbing, or they'll go get electrician, or they'll go do something.
If you do choose that military route, a lot of my military buddies and stuff have always said if you it's getting out, go enlist, do whatever's best for you. But sometimes it's have a plan. Like my grandpa came out of the Army, and he ran dozers over in Vietnam. Guess what he did in Iowa? Ran dozers.
I got a guy with me right now that just left military and he's been back in with the guard.
Learn a
and he's getting
trade.
jerked around
Because
all over
they
the
pay
place.
for all that training.
Because he was supposed to be an electrician. No, what the heck was he supposed to be? It was not an electrician, and they turned him into an electrician. And so now he knows he was like running wires in Fallujah and turning a base into something. But the heck was that? One of those guys just died.
I think it just died.
All right, well, we better wrap it
Let's
up.
wrap it
Camera
up.
angles are dying.
Hey, all right, yeah. Hey, great episode.
Yeah, for
awesome.
sure.
Exposure creates opportunity. We've exposed a lot of things right here. So
A lot of
thanks everybody for listening. This is the Building the Future podcast, and we're gonna keep going to this thing because I think this is good stuff.
Thanks,
Good stuff.
So appreciate everybody. Peace out.